So, I mean, this is a guy who was one of the most intense competitors I've ever been around. So, if you ever saw him,
absolutely.
Not only great scorer, but
that is a great name drop. We appreciate tuning in. We appreciate the call. And I remember I was young. EJ, I don't even know if you remember that one as it happened live, but that was a player. And I say he kind of springboarded himself to the NBA because he never stopped. Right. He was a great player coming out. And again, we're in 13, certainly remember watching him, but it was one of those deals where, because Purdue's a really good basketball program, but everybody talked about some other people, talked about some of the players on Michigan, talked about some of the players on North Carolina.
250K pick'em for your chance to win a share of bonus bets. It's free to play and easy to get started. Just log into your BetMGM account and predict what will happen at different points throughout the college basketball tournament. You'll earn points with every correct answer, which gives you a shot to win a share of bonus bets. Just pick what will happen throughout March matchups, and if you make enough correct picks, you'll win a share of bonus bets. BetMGM and GameSense remind you to gamble responsibly. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 years of age and older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Available in the U.S. For New York, call 8778-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. For Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. For Massachusetts, 1-800-327-5050. For Iowa, 1-800-BETS-OFF. For Puerto Rico, 1-800-981-0023. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards or non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire in 7 days. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
If it's the NCAA tournament, it's on Westwood 1.
It will be Grant Hill to make the pass. They're not going to guard Hill making the inbounds pass. Here's a high looper. There's Leitner. He turns. He shoots. It is good. Christian Leitner hits a turnaround 17-footer at the buzzer, and the Duke Blue Devils head to Minneapolis. My, oh my, oh my.
6.9 to go. In it comes to Ethan Morton. He's going to dribble this one out. And the second verse is the same as the first. UConn repeats as national champions.
Now it's time for Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. Here's your host, Jason Horowitz.
We welcome you to our NCAA broadcast headquarters in Los Angeles for First Four doubleheader coverage of the 2025 Men's Basketball Championship. Tonight's broadcast of the NCAA tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is sponsored by AutoZone, by Cintas, by Granger, by Pluto TV, by Progressive Insurance, by Kohl's, and by NCAA.com. Hey, folks, how are you? Jason Horowitz, happy to have you with us, and once again, welcome you to our exclusive coverage of the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament. The road to the Final Four in San Antonio starts tonight in Dayton, Ohio, with the first two games of the first four. Two more coming your way tomorrow, and then we get it all going wall-to-wall action on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. What a weekend it's going to be from now through Sunday. And happy to welcome in my new in-studio analyst throughout now all the way to San Antonio, former Creighton and Kansas guard Nick Bob. Man, I am very happy to have you. We are ecstatic that you're going to be with us.
Yeah, to say I'm excited, Jason, is a massive understatement. This is the greatest sporting event in the world, and to get to cover the NCAA tournament with Westwood One and with you is just incredible. I have stared at this bracket long enough. I'm ready to get this thing started, and it all starts in Dayton tonight, so I am excited. Let's do this.
In just about 7 minutes as we check the schedule of tournament games coming up on Westwood One, sponsored by the 2027 X15 engine from Cummins, featuring better fuel efficiency, immense power, and backed by 25-plus years of experience. The 2027 X15 is built to rise above the challenges of tomorrow. The X15, forever rising. It gets going. Alabama State and St. Francis of Pennsylvania pair pair of 16 seeds. The winner will take on Auburn. You know, in this game every year, always 48 hours right after Selection Sunday for the teams who find out they're playing, like Alabama State coach Tony Madlock.
It's a whirlwind. Seems like we just got off the floor in Atlanta 5 minutes ago, but it's been great. It's a quick turnaround, trying to get a little prep time and get ready for tonight.
In the tournament for the first time in 14 years, opposite St. Francis of Pennsylvania and their head coach Rob Krimmel, who have won 6 in a row, either all in overtime or by 3 points.
You want to be playing your best basketball this time of the year, and we had challenged our guys to win 3 in a row. We had won 2 in a row a couple of times, and we hadn't lost more than 2 in a row, so we were pretty consistent from that standpoint. But to get to where we needed to be and to be in a position we are in tonight, we had to win 3 in a row because that's what it was going to take in our conference tournament.
Which they are in for the first time since 1991. We tip off the NCAA tournament coming up on the other side, St. Francis and Alabama State. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Riley Herbst here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boosts, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
You can just move through life, or you can find the things that move you. It's your choice. You can choose to get out there. Choose your people. You could choose to go for it. No, like really go for it.
4th down, 28-yard line.
Just choose to do something that moves you. Mazda crafts cars for those who choose to do more than simply move. Mazda. Move and be moved.
I'll wake up.
Tyler Reddick here from 2311 Racing. Looking for fast fun? Go for a spin at Chumba Casino. Racing's fast, but Chumba takes it up a notch. Nothing beats the rush of those high-speed spins. Big thrills, daily bonus boosts, action-packed games. Chumba's got it all to keep you in the fast lane. Ready to race? Let's Chumba. Pit stop at ChumbaCasino.com and play today.
Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
We welcome you to the marvelous magic of March. It's returned at UD Arena in Dayton. The first 4 tips off the 2025 NCAA tournament tonight. Nate Gatter and King McClure with you courtside for the 16th-seeded Hornets of Alabama State, the champions of the SWAC, winners of 6 in a row, and the 16th-seeded St. Francis Red Flash, who have won 6 straight to go from a 10-17 start to the season to NEC champions and dancing into March for the first time since 1991. Time for the keys to the game, sponsored by Realtors. Buying a home can be a lot, but with the ethical expertise of a Realtor, you don't have to do it alone. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. All right, King, let's start with Alabama State.
Well, for Alabama State, you have to contain Riley Parker. He's averaging 17 points per game in the last 6 games. He is the engine that makes this St. Francis team go. You have to keep him out the paint. You have to climb up in him, make him uncomfortable, because when he gets rolling, this St. Francis team is extremely difficult to stop. And for St. Francis, you have to stay disciplined on the defensive side. You have to stay solid. This is the Alabama State team that is top 5 in the country when it comes to turnover percentage. They do not beat themselves. They do not turn the ball over. Don't gamble. Don't go for steals. Stay solid and stay in your principles, and you have a chance to win this game.
Neither one of these teams was expected to be here. Alabama State over the last 7 years had won an average of 8 games. Here they are 19 and 15 in the NCAA tournament. St. Francis was picked to finish tied for last in the NEC, and they went on a borderline miraculous run to win the league and find themselves here in the tournament for the first time in over a quarter century. Let's check the starting lineup, sponsored by Cintas. Workdays are better when you partner with Cintas. Keep your team protected, prepared, and looking great. Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday. First, for the SWAC champion Alabama State Hornets under third-year head coach Tony Madlock. They are 19 and 15. They went 12 and 6 in the SWAC. They have won 6 games in a row. In the backcourt, they have a 6'2 senior guard, C.J. Hines, who averages a team-high 14.4 points per game. They have a 6'3 redshirt sophomore in Amar Knox, first-team All-SWAC. Micah Octave, a senior, and T.J. Madlock, the coach's son, and a second-team All-SWAC selection, a senior himself, round out the guards. Just Stephen Walker, the 6'10 redshirt sophomore, is the man in the middle for the Hornets. Meanwhile, for St. Francis, under 13th-year head coach Rob Krimmel, who has been in Loretto, Pennsylvania for 29 years. He came to St. Francis as a player in the fall of 1996. He just never left, and he has his red flash in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 91. They are 16 and 17, 8 and 8 in the NEC, winners of 6 straight. Valentino Pinedo is his man in the middle, 6.5 rebounds a game to lead the team, third-team All-NEC. Riley Parker, leading scorer, first-team All-League. In the backcourt, Juan Cranford Jr., the Rookie of the Year in the conference, and a Dayton native, along with Damar Kelly and Chris Moncrief, the 5 for St. Francis. Time now for the opening tip, sponsored by AutoZone. Free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes AutoZone America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Once again, for St. Francis, the guards are Kelly, Cranford, Parker, and Moncrief. The forward is Pinedo. For Alabama State, the guards Octave, Hines, Knox, and Madlock, with Walker up front. Pinedo will jump in red for St. Francis. Just Stephen Walker in goal for Alabama State. Our officials are Clarence Armstrong, Amy Botter, and Anthony Burris. Pinedo against Walker. The ball is in the air. Pinedo wins the tip, but Alabama State controls. The road to San Antonio starts here. The 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament is underway. Alabama State basketball attacking the rim to our left. On the attack, Amar Knox is stripped to the right elbow, and St. Francis comes the other way, but he pokes the ball away from Francis at midcourt. Here comes Alabama State right to left. Kick out left corner, Knox goes up to the left wing, Hines. Pump fake on Pinedo, drives to the right block. High arcing shot up the window, and he got it. What a first bucket of the tournament.
And that's a guy you don't want to let get going. Averages 17 points per game in the last 3. He's a tough cover.
St. Francis basketball down 2-0 already. Pinedo attacks, kick out to the left wing. He finds Damar Kelly, slices across the lane, takes the dribble out to the near side right. 10 on the timer between the circles. Pinedo drives left lane line all the way to the rim. Lefty layup rolls off, and it's rebounded by Alabama State's just Stephen Walker, who averages 3.5 a game at 6'10" in the middle for the Hornets. Left wing Amar Knox thought about a 3. Alabama State basketball up 2-0. Now he'll take it. It's way off to the right, an air ball, and snatched out of the air by the Dayton native Juan Cranford Jr., playing back in his hometown for the second time in his freshman year. Underneath Pinedo, kick out Cranford, extra pass, straight on Kelly 3. Missed it to the right, an air ball out of bounds. Maybe some nerves early on.
Yeah, and you can tell. Both teams, 2 bad shots. Both of them were semi-open. The air balls on back-to-back possessions. I know how they feel. This is a little nerve-wracking. However, once they settle in, the team that settles in the quickest can get a little bit of separation.
Madlock, coach's son, drives left baseline. His shot is blocked by the help side defender, Moncrief. And Moncrief brings it ahead for St. Francis. Skip pass left in transition. On the baseline, Kelly knocked away from him out of bounds. St. Francis will keep it. 95 seconds played in our opening half. Alabama State 2 and St. Francis nothing in the first of 67 games in the 2025 NCAA tournament. Parker, the baseline trigger, lobs to Pinedo, gets it back on the handoff, near side right wing. The leading scorer for St. Francis. First year with a red flash out of the western coast of Australia. Bounce pass underneath. Moncrief for the 2-hand slam. Welcome back to the tournament, St. Francis.
And that's what Pinedo does. Whenever he has the basketball, watch the off-ball movement. He's one of the best passers that we will see in this tournament.
2-2 game. Hines with the ball. Right elbow for Alabama State. Works to the mid-post right. Pull-up floater. Rattles out. And a rebound snatched by Kelly for St. Francis. No look. Lob pass in transition underneath. Pinedo for the left-hand layup. Through contact from Walker, and it's 4-2 St. Francis.
And they're doing a really good job getting out in transition. Alabama State has to get back.
Hornets basketball. Attack of the rim to our left against the St. Francis man-to-man defense. Knox handles out high on the March Madness drop shadow logo. He drives to the high post. He throws it to the left block for Micah Octave quite early. Swinging around, right wing Madlock, 7 to shoot. Left wing Knox. He slashes to the rim. Jump stop. Splits 2 defenders for the right hand reverse land that kisses home to tie the game at 4 after 3 minutes.
Alabama State does such a good job of driving closeouts. When you close out, when you chop your feet the wrong way, they will blow by you and create a lane to the rim.
St. Francis basketball. 4-4 game early. Kelly, his man Knox, takes the tumble. He pulls up with the left elbow and sticks the jumper. Kelly had the early air ball, but he seems to have settled in.
They're struggled in the last 2, only 6 points per game, when he typically averages about 8. But he seemed to find his footing so far early on.
St. Francis 6, Alabama State 4. Hornets basketball. Just Stephen Walker up at the top of the key. Throws it high left wing for Hines. Working against Kelly, and the red flashes man-to-man. Timer dwindles to 9. Knox draws a switch on Moncrief. In and out dribble right hand. Crosses left. Gets to the baseline. Contested layup blocked by Moncrief, and he has the rebound. Second Moncrief block, and both times he's kept it in play. Claimed it himself. Transition. Riley Parker 3 too strong. And it's rebounded by Alabama State's Madlock. And he is bumped at the top of the key on the run by Parker, who picks up the early foul.
St. Francis doing a really good job early on, like we talked about in the open, staying solid. There's a lot of one-on-one when you look at this Alabama State offense. Not enough movement, not enough off-ball screens. They are staying still. It's very, very stagnant. As a result, St. Francis help side defense is able to load up and not give any angles, which is why we've seen them force them into bad shots and turnovers early on.
Alabama State, not a particularly efficient team in the half court. Far side right wing, Micah Simpson in for the first time for the Hornets. Junior from Morristown, Tennessee, in his first season in Montgomery after a couple of junior college years in his home state at Walters State. He averages 6.5 off the bench. He goes out to Hines, 7 to shoot at midcourt, throws it right side Simpson, off one dribble, thought about a pull-up, back to Hines, deep, straight on 3, hit the backboard first, no good, and the rebound reeled in by the outstretched left hand of Cranford. St. Francis from left to right, up 6-4 with a basketball, more than 4 minutes play. Left wing Kelly, he attacks mid-post. Jump pass, kick out, Parker off a pump fake right corner, cut off of the baseline, ball knocked out of his hands by Hines, and last off of Parker, it's a St. Francis turnover that takes us into a timeout. 15:40 remaining first half. Our scores, St. Francis 6 and Alabama State 4 from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
If you are a fighter, Modelo is your reward. So listen close. You put up with a lot, but you always hold it down for your people. You are strong. You are fearless. You are the baddest on the block. You are an elbow grease factory, a force of nature. You are not to be reckoned with. You are a ride or die, a powerhouse of productivity. You are a fighter, and Modelo is your reward. You've earned every last drop of this rich golden lager, so raise it up high. Modelo, the mark of a fighter. Drink responsibly. Beer imported by Crown Imports, Chicago, Illinois.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on retirement contributions. A very handsome reward indeed. With Robinhood Gold, your annual IRA contributions are boosted by 3%. Plus, you also get 4% APY on your cash and non-retirement accounts. That's over 8 times the national savings average. The perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% IRA boost on annual contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rates subject to change. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold at $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Over 8 times the national average savings account interest rate. Claim is based on data from the FDIC as of November 18th, 2024. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Meanwhile at Xfinity.
Okay, huddle up. Do you realize how many fans stream basketball? It's madness.
But real fans stream with Xfinity Internet.
Totally. We've engineered a super fast connection.
With reduced buffering and low lag.
'Cause making streaming better is what we do!
Yeah!
Yeah!
Can we let go now? It's really not a huddle with 2 people.
Switch to Xfinity Internet and stream live sports from the best seat in the house. Bring on the good stuff. Restrictions apply. Not available in all areas. Actual speeds vary. Not guaranteed.
Let's check each team's tournament resume, sponsored by Monster.com. Monster.com helps you slam dunk the job search and make your next career move. Monster.com provides great coaching and millions of job openings. Get off the bench and go to Monster.com today. Alabama State 19-15, 12-6 in the SWAC. On February 10th, the Hornets were 9-14. That night they beat first place Southern 82-81 in a game head coach Tony Matlock said kick-started everything. They've won 10 of 11 since, including 6 straight games on their way to the SWAC crown, beating Grambling and then ultimately Texas Southern, and coming off a win over former ASU coach Mo Williams, NBA player, and Jackson State for the SWAC title. Meanwhile, for St. Francis, 16-17, 8-8 in the NEC. Similar story. A month ago, 10-17. They were coming off a 16-point loss on the road against Central Connecticut State. Since then, they've won 6 games in a row, and coming off a 3-point road victory over that same heavily favored Central Connecticut team in the NEC championship game. They won 46-43, the fewest points scored by a winning team in Division I all year. Far side right corner, Hines. 3 for Alabama State is good, and the Hornets take a 7-6 lead. 15.5 remaining at the first 4.
And that's the best offensive possession so far from Alabama State. Good backside movement. The flare screen got Hines wide open.
St. Francis basketball, attacking the rim to our right. Cranford stumbles into the paint. Wild kick out is stolen by Hines. Alabama State on the run, right to left. Euro step kick out. Left corner, Simpson 3. It's good. Back-to-back triples for the Hornets. They take a 10-6 lead after 5 minutes of the 2025 NCAA tournament.
When the guards of Alabama State get into the paint, they are so good at kicking out and finding shooters. You have to contain them and keep them out the lane.
Kelly steps into a wide-open 3 left wing. Missed it off the heel. Rebound knocked loose by 2 Hornets. Bounces to the corner, but tracked down by the 7'1" Obong Ukan, who comes into the game and makes the rebound on the opening defensive possession for Alabama State. Hines on the near side left. He drives. He's stripped by the help side defender Parker, but it's out of bounds off St. Francis. Alabama State keeps it on a 6-0 run to take a 10-6 lead. And Ubong Okan got all of maybe 30 seconds there out of the timeout, and just Stephen Walker is right back on.
He played well. He served his purpose. 2 rebounds in his 30-second tenure.
TJ Madlock to trigger. He lobs it toward the rim. Walker tried to put it in, but it rims out, and it's rebounded by Whistler Sannon off the bench for the first time for St. Francis. He shovels to Cranford, near side right corner. The lefty freshman, rookie of the year in the NEC, sizes up Hines. Triple over the top, and the Dayton native Cranford is on the board to make it 10-9 ASU. Madlock crosses over in transition, bangs into Cranford, offensive foul. Wayne High School stand up just 11 miles from UD Arena. Cranford at both ends, a triple to open the scoring in his tournament, and he takes a charge on Madlock at the other end.
In watching film, I've been so impressed with this young man, Cranford, because he's always under control. And the shot that he just took, sizing your defender up, jab step 2 times, take your time, don't be in a rush, rise up, knock it down. I mean, his shot-making ability is huge for this St. Francis team.
Cranford catch and shoot, right corner. Saints body drills it. Back-to-back 1 Cranford threes. He had 1 Division I offer, and he made it count. St. Francis 12, Alabama State 10, with 13:50 to go in the first half. 6 points and a charge taken in quick succession for Cranford. Madlock drives right, step back, 16-footer, missed it off the heel, rebound loose, kicked out to Hines straight on 3, but a whistle on the rebound, and a foul against Alabama State. Micah Octave picks up the personal. March Madness is coming to a court near you. Experience it live as the nation's best college basketball teams compete for a chance to cut down the nets. Secure your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets. With what you were saying about Cranford, can you believe he only had 1 Division I offer?
No man can play. I mean, he can play, gets to his spots. He loves the left hand, goes left about 60% of the time, but he just understands angles better than a lot of guards I've seen in Division I basketball.
Sanford leaves it to the right block for Pinedo, who lays it up and in, and St. Francis on an 8-0 run takes a 14-10 lead over Alabama State. Sannon has been high energy since coming in for St. Francis, and he is in C.J. Hines' hip pocket as Hines zigzags up over the timeline right to left. Hines on the NCAA circle of the March Madness logo at midcourt. He drives right to the paint, staggers to the right block, floater, no. Sandin was bothering him all the way. The rebound tipped to Cranford, and he is fouled. Hines and Octave had him bracketed. We'll see who gets the foul. If it's Octave, it would be his second very quickly, but they're going to put it on Hines, his first.
And Sandin, his ability to come off of the bench and be so active, his energy is infectious. I mean, he gets a drive, kicks it to Pinedo for the wide open two, and then defensively, he stays in front of the ball, fights through the ball screen, bothers Hines, not allowing him to get anything easy. You love to see the effort and the energy when guys come off the bench, because it really is almost like a spark plug for the team.
Sandin averages less than 2 points, 2 rebounds a game, but those numbers sort of cover the story because he missed the first half of the season. He's been working his way back into the rotation, played a season-high 15 minutes in the NEC title win last week over Central Connecticut. And he walks the ball off the floor left to right. St. Francis with a basketball on an 8-0 run. They made 6 of their last 8 shots to take a 14-10 lead with 7 and change gone by first half. Cranford, top of the arc, throws it underneath to Pinedo, who had it tipped away, and Simpson on the run out for Alabama State. The pass to the right side, laid up and in by Dante Bass. Redshirt sophomore, Savannah, Georgia, averages 4.5 off the bench for Alabama State, and he snaps the run. St. Francis breaks a little soft pressure from Alabama State left to right. 2-point lead in the ball. Moncrief bounce pass to a rolling Pinedo. Through contact, he lays it up and in. Count the basket plus the foul. Pinedo will have a chance at a 3-point play with St. Francis up 16-12.
That's just a great pass right there by Moncrief. It really wasn't open. So when you look at it, he put the ball in a place where only Pinedo could get it. And right there, just a good finish, good and one. And just a high-level pass, high-level play right there.
Damar Kelly returns for St. Francis. Jeremy Playville, true freshman from New Jersey, also in for the first time. Pinedo, a 61% foul shooter, and he gets it. 17-12, St. Francis on top. That's an 11-2 run for the Red Flash, who have made 4 field goals in a row. Get good at money so you can be a little bad. Invest well at empowered.com. St. Francis also goes to Aiden Harris for the first time, 6'7" sophomore out of Annapolis, Maryland, who's on for the Red Flash. So it's Kelly, Moncrief, the only 2 starters, along with Harris, Playville, and Sandin on the floor for St. Francis. Top of the arc, Simpson comes free for a catch-and-shoot 3, missed it to the left, and the rebound taken on the baseline by Kelly for St. Francis. Kelly brings it ahead, left to right, little wiggle straight on. Swing it to the left wing for Playville. He's listed at 165 pounds. That might be a little generous. Sandin, right wing. He's been high energy, but he loses the ball in traffic, and it's off his leg out of bounds with the near sideline. Another St. Francis turnover, the 5th in the opening 8 minutes and change for the Red Flash, but they have the lead nonetheless. There's a timeout on the court with the score. St. Francis 17, Alabama State 12, 11:46 remaining in our opening half. You're listening to the Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
It's Power Torque Tools DIY days at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Lifetime guaranteed Power Torque professional hand tools only at O'Reilly Auto.
Cheers, Insiders! Thanks for hanging out with us this afternoon, this evening, this morning, the middle of the night, wherever it is where you're watching from. Thank you for spending your time with us here and cheering on whatever team it is that you're rooting for in the SEC tournament. Please do us a favor and let's get some more basketball fans here in the chat to help us raise money for SickKids Hospital in Toronto and have a really good time partying it up during March Madness. Hit that like button down below as well. Please share this link out. Every single share is so massive. Please share it out as it helps YouTube recognize that more people are enjoying what they're watching. Now let's get back to the basketball. Good luck to your team.
Get it done.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Choose Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championship.
Nothing matches the passion, the excitement, the history-making moments of college sports. Nobody takes you inside the greatest campuses and stadiums across the country like Sirius XM College Sports Radio.
Smart coaching move of the day, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Nate Gatter, King McClure, producer Andy Garcia, engineer Noah Champion, statistician Mike Bloom, back with you courtside from Dayton, where St. Francis has a 17-12 lead over Alabama State with 11:46 remaining in the first half. King, what stood out to you so far?
Well, Alabama State 10 points off of St. Francis turnovers because they're not getting anything in the half court. St. Francis is doing a really good job with that half court defense, but where Alabama State has been able to really impose their will and be able to stay in this ball game is in transition. So when St. Francis takes care of the basketball, it makes it really tough for Alabama State to do anything.
And St. Francis 7 of 11 for the field, but there's 5 turnovers. Alabama State basketball down by 5. Near side, left wing pass. On a jab step, gives it up to Knox straight away. Size up dribble with the left hand. Drives on Clayville, shovels it out. Fast left wing 3. Missed it short. Rebound on the strong side. Grabbed off a bounce by Clayville, who sealed off pass nicely. St. Francis ball up by 5. The Red Flash have made their last 4 from the field. Moncrief far side left wing, hands off to Sannon, back up top Clayville. He gets a high screen from Harris, who gets it on the pop, throws to a back cutting Sannon. He's stripped underneath, and it's ripped away by Knox for Alabama State. Here come the Hornets right to left. Simpson, extra pass, right wing. Fulcher on the drive. Fulcher on the double clutch. Fulcher lays it up and in, and Alabama State cuts the deficit to 3.
And that's another point off of a St. Francis turnover. We talk about Sannon and his energy. However, we've seen him have 2 bad turnovers. He needs to slow down and calm down just a little bit.
Kelly straight on, throws it to a rolling Harrison, the high post. He bounce passes one toward the back cutting Moncrief. The ball knocked loose and a held ball with the arrow favoring St. Francis. Download the brand new Westwood One Sports app and catch every minute of the men's and women's NCAA tournament anytime, anywhere. Don't be left out. Get the Westwood One Sports app today. 10:34 left in the first half. St. Francis 17, Alabama State 14. St. Francis gets Juan Cranford and Riley Parker, the top 2 guards, back in, along with the starting center, Pinedo. He gets the inbound on the near side right. Timer ticking down to 8. He backs in on Ocon. He gives it up to Parker. Pull up, right elbow jumper, no good, but a foul on Ocon. The 7-footer leapt into the Australian Parker on the 17-foot jumper, and not going to get away with that at 7 feet tall. Nate Gatter and King McClure here at our Granger broadcast position in Dayton. For the ones who get it done, there's Granger, offering professional-grade products for all industries, fast delivery, and free technical support. Call, click Granger.com, or just stop by. Riley Parker, 13.5 points a game, first-team All-NEC. First free throw is good. 86% foul shooter this year. He's from Mandurah, Australia, about 45 miles south of Perth on the southwestern coast of Australia. He's exactly 12 hours ahead of us, so they're enjoying some morning basketball back home.
And let's see if this gets him going. Kind of was struggling. He was really quiet up to this point, but good scores, when they get to the free throw line, it usually sparks something in them to where they start to get rolling.
First 2 points for Parker, 19-14, St. Francis on top of Alabama State. Straight away between the rings, Sean Fulcher off the bench for Alabama State with 2 points already. Throws it right wing Bass. Another three is good. Bass missed his first. He hits his second. And Alabama State trails by only 2.
And I love when a guard comes off the pick and roll and is able to locate the tag and make the right read. Fulcher does it right there.
Pinedo drives for St. Francis. He is fouled by Stephen Walker. That's Walker's first. Alabama State already has 6 fouls with still 9:58 to go in the first. So all subsequent fouls are going to be free throws for St. Francis. And Pinedo will shoot 2 on this one because he was going up. Third team All-NEC selection, 10 points a game, 61% foul shooter. And he gets the first. Native of Spain, won the 2019 Under-16 European Championship with the Spanish national team, in which the Spaniards beat a 15-year-old Victor Wembanyama at France in the gold medal game. Pinedo gets the second. It's after guarding Wembanyama as a teenager, I would think not too tough to play in the NCAA tournament.
I don't know if there's anybody in the world better than that young man right there.
Near side left, it's Bass. Bounce pass entry. Left block extended. Walker backing out of the baseline. Draws a second defender. Looking for an option. Throws it top of the arc. Simpson. Deep three. Good! Alabama State within 1 on a second straight Hornets triple.
That's a good play right there by Walker. 2 come on the post double. Find the right man. Find the open man. And Robinson pays it off.
Top of the arc, it's Kelly. He slashes to the right block. He stops. He throws up the shot off the backboard. No good. Rebound bounces into us. Look out, producer Andy Garcia. It's out of bounds. Off of St. Francis. Alabama State gets it, trailing by 1 with 9:17 to go in the first half. King, you play Division I. You're supposed to be on that. That's your rebound right there.
Oh,
you got to protect us.
I caught it.
But you didn't get in front of it.
You know, I caught it because I couldn't get right there. So I had to bounce over the head for me to receive it.
What if it had hit my face? This is the moneymaker.
That's why I'm on radio.
Top of the yard, Hornets basketball. Fulcher on the left-hand, bell-tie dribble, working against Kelly. Crosses over between his legs, drives left side, ball fake at the block. He kicks out Walker, straight on 3, in and out. And it's rebounded by Parker for St. Francis. They're on the run. Near side right, it's Rosenberger, first into the game. Kicks it out, Parker, left wing 3, is good. Right on cue. King McClure predicted it. A couple of free throws to get going, and Parker splashes a 3 to restore St. Francis's lead. 24-20, 8:35 left first half.
You caught that one in rhythm. Whenever you allow a good shooter to be able to catch the ball in rhythm, after 2 free throws, it's usually money.
Fulcher works right side and a hand check foul on Kelly. That's his first. Maintain X is the asset and maintenance app that brings your unplanned downtime to 0. Try for free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain and the letter X.com/MVP. Should correct something from that a couple of possessions ago, by the way. They didn't get the foul on Walker when Pinedo was going up. They got it on Bass, who was trailing, so he has 2. But Alabama State will probably take that. It keeps Walker from picking up his first. Straight away, Simpson jumps down to the foul line, throws it out to the right wing. Walker, another 3. This time too strong, and the strong side rebound pulled down by Bobby Rosenberger III, a sophomore from Quakertown, Pennsylvania, whose minutes have gone way down as the season has gone on. Far side left wing, it's Cranford. He had a couple of early threes for St. Francis. Swinging around near side right to Parker. He gets a screen and roll. Pinedo free to the rim for the righty land. Easy if you like. And St. Francis leads by half a dozen. The largest advantage for either team tonight. 7:45 and counting to go first half. St. Francis since a 3-8 start for the field. 6 of 6. Straight on catch and shoot 3. Mack from way downtown. Alabama State is going to NBA range. And the Hornets trail by 3 once again.
That was just a great play, though. You slipped the ball screen into a pin down for your shooter to come off. Good play right there by Coach Madlock.
11 of Alabama State's 20 field goal attempts have been from 3. Cranford near side right. He has a couple of triples for St. Francis. Top of the arc, Rosenberg. Back to Cranford near side right. Gets a screen and roll from Pinedo. Cranford drives left block. He's fouled on the layup. Wouldn't go, but this time Walker will in fact get his first personal foul, and Cranford will have a couple of free throws on the other side of the timeout. 7:12 remaining first half. St. Francis 26, Alabama State 23. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to AutoZone. What are you working on today?
I need new rotors.
When you buy 2 Duralast rotors during our spring sale, you get Duralast brake pads free.
Free?
with the rotors.
Well, that's great. What if I need extra stopping power?
You can upgrade to Duralast Gold pads for just $10.
So Duralast pads are free?
Yep.
And an upgrade is just $10?
That's right. Part of the spring sale at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
You know what I love about spring? It's a season of change. And that means it's time for a closet refresh. Enter Kohl's. With the extra 15% off they have going on, I saved on the latest styles for my entire family. Like a cute dress for myself, linen shorts for my husband, and spring jackets for my kids. Just add sunshine and we're set. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles. Some exclusions apply. 15% offer ends March 23rd. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
Some people just know they can save hundreds on car insurance by checking Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. Like you know to check your sunroof is closed first before driving through the car wash.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, no. Wait, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, checking first is smart. So if you want to save money, check Allstate first at 888-ALLSTATE or allstate.com. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Jason Horwitz, Nick Baugh, happy to have you back with us here in our Westwood One studios with a tournament update sponsored by GoodRx. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, go to GoodRx.com or download the free GoodRx app. 26-23, St. Francis leading Alabama State. Nick, what are you noticing?
So far, St. Francis, when they've not turned the ball over, they've scored really efficiently. They're shooting 64% from the floor. They just have to handle the changing defenses from Alabama State, take care of the ball. If they keep doing that, I think they can build this lead, but easier said than done.
Yeah, they had 6 turnovers here in the first half. We'll be back at halftime, get you caught up on what else is going on, big picture for the tournament, which wall-to-wall coverage now all the way through the championship game. But for now, back to Nate Gatter and King McClure in Dayton.
Thank you very much, Jason. St. Francis up 26-23, 7:12 to go first half. King, you heard Nick's comments. Anything else that stood out to you, or is it pretty much just St. Francis hold on to the ball and you'll be able to grow the lead?
Well, it's the same thing, but when you mix that along with what they're doing on the glass, 11-5 on the glass, I mean, St. Francis have outplayed this Alabama State team in the first 13 minutes of this ball game. But Nick is absolutely right. Keep them when they keep the basketball, they don't turn it over. And they're able to run their offense and run it fluidly. And they're not sped up by the pressure of Alabama State. They've gotten whatever look they wanted to on the offensive side.
Juan Cranford Jr., the lefty, puts up the free throw and gets the first of 2. 90% foul shooter, the NEC Rookie of the Year, the 4th player in Red Flash history to win that award, first since Keith Braxton. Perhaps the best player in recent NEC history. Won it in 2017. Went on to 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds. Second free throw off the front rim and rolls off the right side. A rebound loose, and it's grabbed off a high bounce by a leaping C.J. Hines for Alabama State. So it's St. Francis 27, Alabama State 23. 7 minutes and counting to go first half in Dayton. Hornets with a basketball, attacking the rim to our left. Far side right wing, C.J. Hines on the dribble. Hasn't thrown a pass yet. The shot clock's at 12. Gets rid of it to Mack straight away. Back to the right wing for Hines. Step back 3 on the way. It's no good off the right side. A rebound batted out of Cranford's hands, but snared by Parker for St. Francis. Cranford has the ball, near sideline right, working into the front court for the Red Flash. Thought about a pull-up 3, instead gets it to Pinedo, backing down, short corner right, working into the chest of Bass, who has 2 fouls, and an offensive foul called on Pinedo for a hawk as he moved across the lane, trying to get around the right hip of Deontay Bass.
Yeah, I don't know about that one right there. I don't know about that one, Nate. He didn't even have an advantage. Oh, I see the hook. I saw the hook on the screen that we have right here. Yeah, definitely a hook. Even though the hook didn't even create him to actually allow him to have an advantage. But I did see the hook, the right arm, hooked him around. Good call.
You're saying it wasn't even a good hook. You didn't even get much out of it.
It wasn't a good
C.J. Hines, skip pass over the top of the defense, near side left corner for T.J. Madline. Works up to the left wing on the dribble, gives it up pass, left corner 3, it's good! Deontay Bass has showed up in style. 8 early points for Bass, who averages only 4.5 per game. State is back within one with 6 minutes to play first half. St. Francis ball up 27-26. Near side right wing Cranford on the crossover, step back against Madlock. Got him to come into him. Cranford drives, contested floater from 8 feet in the middle of the paint. No good off the back rim. And the rebound grabbed by Alabama State with a chance to take the lead. Run out right to left. Simpson, deep right wing three. Missed it way short. Grazes the net. Nearly saved by Bass, but he leapt from the baseline. So he's out of bounds when he touches the ball. And St. Francis gets it back.
You know, three-point shooting is what has kept Alabama State in this ball game, because when you talk about the rebounding for St. Francis, the efficiency in which they're scoring the ball, the three-point shooting for Alabama State is what has kept them in this ball game.
And ordinarily not a great three-point shooting team at 33%. Riley Parker pull up straight on three, rims out from the left side, and the rebound pulled down by the right hand of Madlock for Alabama State. Right to left, he pulls up at the foul line. His jumper missed to the right. Parker has the rebound again for St. Francis. Parker's grabbed 3 boards to go with 5 points. He tried a high pass over his head. It's tipped by Simpson. Saved by Pinedo, but stolen by Bass. He loses the ball on the dribble as he was going in alone for the dunk. It's out of bounds to St. Francis.
And here's what I will say to that. The balls are extra aired up. When you're playing in the NCAA tournament, they give you the fresh ones. The balls are absolutely aired up. So sometimes when you try to dribble it, it's hard to gain that control. And right there, we saw he tried to get the ball, tried to handle it, but it bounced a little bit too high. You're playing with new basketballs. That can come into effect sometimes.
It's an interesting point, because we were at shoot-arounds today and yesterday, and the sound is even a little bit different. You can tell it's really hard hitting the ground.
It's a hard basketball, which makes it tough to shoot sometimes. I wish they'd let you play with worn-out balls that have been used a lot, but to play with the new basketball can sometimes be challenging for certain players.
Riley Parker gets to the high post left. Step back jumper. Got it from 18. Plus the foul on Simpson. Riley Parker is heating up, and the first team All-NEC selection will go to the line with a chance at a three-point play after giving St. Francis a 29-26 lead with 4:44 to go in the first. Later on, we'll select the play of the day, sponsored by Old Spice. Stinking places beyond your pits. Old Spice has you covered with total body deodorant. 24/7 freshness from pits to toes with daily use. Parker at the free throw line, 86%, 1 for 2 at his first trip, and he misses off the front rim. Riley Parker has started 1 for 3 on the free throw line. Madlock sprinting in transition is fouled by Kelly, who thought he stripped him clean. It's a second personal foul early on Damar Kelly, with still 4.5 and change to go in this first half.
And Madlock gets bailed out right there because he had no advantage. It was a 1-on-4 fast break to where he was looking to go score, but he gets bailed out by the foul. But not a smart decision moving forward. He shouldn't repeat that behavior.
St. Francis 29, Alabama State 26. That's only the 14th foul on Dayton. Hines curls around to the inbound. Pump fake, step back, right corner three, air ball short. Taken off a bounce by Moncrief for St. Francis. Riley Parker over the timeline, left to right. Gets a high screen for Pinedo. Throws it to the right wing for Cranford. On the right-hand bell-tie dribble, a little wiggle, a pull-up three. It's good! A third first-half triple for Juan Cranford Jr. Is he comfortable in Dayton or what? Into double figures with 10, and St. Francis leads by 6 with 4:10 to go in the first.
And you let him get into a rhythm. A lot of hoopers understand. When you get into a rhythm, it's easier for you to become a shot maker.
Bass trying to answer. His three straight on, rims out. St. Francis with the ball, a chance to extend this 6-point lead, which matches the largest of the night. Cranford gets a high screen from Pinedo, throws to Moncrief, left slot three, rims out. Pinedo couldn't get the offensive rebound. It sails past him to Bass for Alabama State. 3:45 to go. Behind his back, Amar Knox in transition. Kicks it out to Hines in the left corner. Off to the left wing, Madlock. He backs out the dribble on the midcourt circle, works to the right slot, gives it up to Bass. His three on the way. Missed it to the right. Rebounded by Cranford for St. Francis. 3.5 left. Red Flash basketball up 6. Moncrief tries to drive right side. It's knocked away from him out of bounds by Amar Knox. A timeout of the court. 3:26 left in the first. St. Francis 32, Alabama State 26. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Pluto TV has all the shows and movies you love streaming for free. That means laughter is free with gut-busting comedies like The Neighborhood, Boomerang, and Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Bueller.
Mystery is free with countless cases to crack from Criminal Minds, Tracker, and Matlock.
I'm a lawyer, like the old TV show.
And thrills are free with heart-pumping hits like The Walking Dead and Pulp Fiction.
Correctamundo.
Feel the free Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
After battling through the brackets, one team gets the chance to climb the iconic Warner ladder. The final net cutting is the culmination of all the hard work and effort it took to reach the
Cheers, basketball fans. Who are you rooting for today in this matchup? Well, get loud in the chat, cheer them on, and hang out with a bunch of people from all over the world. And while we're doing that, the main reason is this SickKids Hospital and Toronto Sports Insider Bracket Mania campaign that is now live. It is underway. Please check the link that is in the description as well as pinned in the chat. And donate if you are able. If not, please share it out. We are going to raise, the goal is at least $100,000 for SickKids Hospital from now until a champion is crowned at the Final Four. We'll see you back in the chat. Go, whichever team it is you're going for. Go Gators.
In the season here with a loss to Dayton in this building 135 days ago. They're the 5th team ever to play a tournament game in Dayton after playing one here in the regular season. Those teams are 2-2 in their tournament games. That's the fact of the game, sponsored by Kohl's. Make this spring a stylish one with on-trend looks for every occasion when you shop at Kohl's and Kohls.com, where families come first. Nate Gatter, King McClure, our entire Westwood One crew, back with you courtside. St. Francis with a 32-26 lead and the basketball. The Red Flash starting to take care of the ball like we've talked about, and they're starting to get a little separation here.
No, what's interesting, Nate, is that no team haven't had an offensive rebound. It's 0-0 on the offensive glass, and I mean, you can credit to both teams for blocking out, or you can say that there's been a lack of effort on that side of the ball. So we'll see who pulls their will on the offensive glass, I think, in this next 3:26.
St. Francis ball, trigger on the baseline by Parker. Gets it into the right corner. Tranford, who's trapped immediately and has to throw a wild overhead pass, arcing up toward the March Madness half-court logo, where it's taken by Sannon. And he throws it over to the left wing for Moncrief. Drives inside the foul line, terminates. Mid-post right, he's fouled as he was trying to slip a pass to the right flag for Cranford. And that's the 9th team foul on Alabama State. So Moncrief will shoot one on the bonus. The foul goes on Madlock, his second. That could be important. He is Alabama State's best player, in the words of his dad and head coach Tony Madlock, even though this year he's not the leading scorer.
That's because he does so much for this team. I mean, he leads them in rebounding. He's their best offensive playmaker when it comes to getting his teammates involved. And he can also score the rock. So when you combine those three things, I mean, I think he might not be the leading scorer, but he is the most valuable player for this Alabama State team.
Moncrief, a 60% foul shooter, gets the first and earns the second one. 33-26 St. Francis, 3:12 left in the opening half. Second free throw is short off the front rim. Rebound batted out. It's loose, but corralled by Hines for Alabama State. He pushes the pace, throws it ahead to Octave, who goes up and loses the ball out of bounds. It was last off of St. Francis, so Alabama State keeps it with 3:06 now to go in the first half. The Hornets haven't scored for more than 3 minutes.
This is good hands right here. Good hands, good defense in transition to eliminate that bucket that would have been real easy.
Inbound pass, short corner right to Hines. Comes out of the dribble, throws it straight on Octave. Contested three, missed it off the heel. Rebound bounces to the far corner. And an offensive board for the first time in the game by Stephen Walker. Took 17 minutes, but right after King McClure said it, there's the first offensive rebound. Bounce pass on the left baseline is tipped out of bounds by St. Francis. 10 on the timer. Alabama State keeps it. 33-26, Red Flash on top. That's the largest advantage for either team in this first half that has been tight all the way. Tricky corner inbound coming from Madlock, who has stayed in the game with his 2 fouls, getting the trust of a veteran and a coach's son. Said he always calls Tony Madlock dad, even on the court. No coach and dad delineation. He said, that'd be weird. I just call him dad. I wouldn't trade it for the world, playing with him or under him for 4 years. 1 at South Carolina State, now 3 at Alabama State. Left wing, it's Madlock. 5 to shoot. He drives to the foul line, pulls up, and sticks the jumper with 2 on the timer to snap the run and the scoring drought for Alabama State.
That's a much-needed bucket. Just get your man to the spot. Use your shoulder to bump him off. Rise up over the top and knock it down.
A steal at midcourt by Octave. He spins in the paint. Righty layup blocked by Moncrief. What a play. And the ball out of bounds off the foot of Madlock for Alabama State. St. Francis gets it back and evades any punishment for that turnover. Big time block by Chris Moncrief. That's his 3rd block already in this first half.
This is good transition defense. We saw Sandin earlier, and now we see Moncrief.
Little 1-3-1 zone look from Alabama State. Left wing Moncrief, high post Sandin. Extra pass. Parker was open in the right corner, didn't want the 3. Back up to Sandin. Dribbles toward the top of the arc. Bounce pass, high left side to Cranford. 9 on the timer. Cranford has to get it going. Near side right, Sandin. 6 to shoot. Sandin works to the top of the arc. Surrounded with 4. Gives it up Cranford. Deep left wing 3. Another one goes down. Juan Cranford in his return to his hometown of Dayton. 13 first half points. He's hit all 4 of his threes. And St. Francis has its largest lead of the first 4. 36-28 red flash with 1:40 to go in the first. Knox drives left to the paint, double clutch, righty reverse lay-in, and he spins it home off the glass. What a finish.
That's a high-level finish right there. The spin that you have to put on that layup is very Kyrie-esque.
Only the 2nd bucket for Amar Knox, who averages better than 14 a game. Near side right wing is Sandin for St. Francis. 6-point lead in the basketball. Final 80 seconds of the first half. Cranford now on the right side. He's been red hot. Parker curls, right corner, open for a 3, and he sticks it. St. Francis coming to life. 6 3-pointers and 11 tries in the first half, and it's a 9-point lead.
Well, when you run a zone, if you're Alabama State, there's 2 guys on the floor. You have to know where they are at all times, and that's Parker and Cranford.
Right block, a pull-up jumper. Knox just beyond the block, sticks it from 8 feet. Back-to-back baskets for Amar Knox, who has 6. 39-32 St. Francis with the ball. A chance to go 2 for 1 if they hurry. 45 seconds of the game clock, 20 on the shot clock. Pinedo left wing. He has a very quiet 11 points. Was the leading scorer for much of this half for St. Francis. Left wing Moncrief whips a skip past the Sandin. An extra feed. Right wing Cranford 3. Brims out. Rebounded by Alabama State's Octave. And it's stolen by Sandin, but he has to save it on the baseline and can only throw it to Octave, who is fouled in the backcourt by Moncrief. And Alabama State wants a timeout. Cody Madlock takes his first with his team keeping possession. 27.4 and a dead shot clock. They'll have the last shot when we return. Timeout on the court. St. Francis 39, Alabama State 32. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Our daughter Jessie loves playing detective.
A clue.
But since we discovered she has sensitive skin, we've been playing detective too.
We thought the problem was our puppy.
But it was actually our old detergent.
Aha.
So we switched to Tide Free and Gentle. Tide Free and Gentle provides an excellent Tide clean, and it doesn't leave behind irritating residues like dyes or perfumes, so it's gentle on your skin.
Case closed.
If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Free and Gentle. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with
What's up, insiders? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight for the first 4. The tournament is here. March Madness is here. The craziness is here. Don't forget, hit that like button down below and share this link out so we can get more basketball fans here in the chat hanging out with us, cheering on your favorite team, or if you've got any bets on the game, let us know. We'll see you back in the chat. Thanks for being here. Good luck to your team.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Fans, you can listen to every minute of the NCAA men's tournament on Alexa. Just ask your device to open Westwood One Sports, and you'll be able to select the game you want to hear or get access to our March Madness Mix channel, which will take you to the best action at any given moment. That's Open West Sports to listen on Alexa. We have 27.4 seconds left in the first half. St. Francis is on top of Alabama State, 39-32. In the first game of the 2025 NCAA tournament. Out of the Hornets timeout, they will have the last shot, and they have the possession arrow. So it's almost like football when you keep the ball at the end of the half and get the kickoff. They could get 2 baskets here and cut a 7-point deficit down to potentially as small as 1 before St. Francis gets another shot.
Yeah, I mean, you have the down 7. You have a chance to cut it to a 2-possession ball game. I mean, right here, ideally, with the way that Madlock has played, his ability to be able to put the shoulder into you, create separation, and get downhill, his activity on the offensive side, I would like to see him maybe a pick and roll with Walker. You know, Walker has the ability to be able to step out and shoot the 3 as a pick and pop big, or roll as a lob threat. So I like to see Madlock with the basketball making decisions because he's your best playmaker and scorer.
Madlock playing with a couple of personal fouls late in this first half. Kelly has 2 for St. Francis. Bass also has 2 for Alabama State. And it is Madlock who's dribbling on the March Madness logo at midcourt in Dayton as we tip off the NCAA tournament. Cranford guards him, and St. Francis is man-to-man. Knox comes to get it up near midcourt with 8 seconds. Knox walks to the right side, and he's fouled by Clayville, who gives the foul that St. Francis had to give. That's the 6th foul of the half. So Clayville was in there in part to give that foul because he doesn't play so many minutes.
And I think that's a smart foul because it gets you out of your initial action. So it throws you all the way off. Now you have to inbound it from the side and run your second play or run something else.
Into Madlock, top of the arc with 4, works to the left side, pulls up, jumper, good! It's a 2-pointer from just inside the left side of the 3-point arc, and it beats the buzzer to pull Alabama State within 5 going to the half, and they will get the ball to start the second.
And that's a big-time bucket right there by Madlock. That's a good way to finish the half. One-on-one, just go get a bucket. They need more of that in the second half, and for St. Francis, they took care of the basketball in the latter half of the first half of the game. They took better care of the basketball, and when they can do that and get clean shots, their offense has been extremely efficient. We'll see what adjustments are made in the second half.
The halftime score, St. Francis 39, Alabama State 34. When we return, we'll head back to our studios for the halftime report. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mornings can start feeling the same. Wake up, brush teeth, go to work. But with breakfast from Wendy's, it's like, wake up, brush teeth, Baconate with a breakfast Baconator. Roll with a sausage breakfast burrito. Buddy it up with a honey buddy. Or get seasoned with seasoned potatoes. And then go to work. Sorry. When you're ready for a fresh wake-up call, gotta be Wendy's.
At participating U.S. Wendy's during breakfast hour.
So, your small business is outgrowing your garage. You could go online, find a space, and get catfished. Or you could work with an agent who's a realtor, here to guide and help protect you from the surprises you didn't see coming. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
Choose Syntec Full Synthetic Motor Oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
From the Progressive Insurance Studios, it's time for the Westwood One Tournament Halftime Report. You could save big when you bundle your auto, home, motorcycle, RV, or boat. Visit Progressive.com. Once again, here's your host, Jason Horowitz.
39-34, St. Francis the lead on Alabama State. The Red Flash in the tournament for the first time in 34 years, and they're showing well. 59% from the floor with a 5-point lead and the right to take on Auburn on Thursday in Lexington. Happy to have you back with us here in our Westwood One studios alongside my partner for the tournament, Nick Bond. Nick, from an offensive standpoint, this doesn't look like the team that only scored 46 to get to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, it's been really impressive, especially considering the fact that Alabama State's calling card is switching defenses. They play some man-to-man, they play some 2-3, they play some 1-3-1. For a team that has struggled to score and is extremely turnover-prone, I thought that was a recipe for some struggles for St. Francis. But they did a nice job when they didn't turn the ball over in affecting the man-to-man with some rolls to the rim. I thought the way they shot the ball from beyond the arc was terrific. 6 made threes. It's a pretty simple resume. When you take care of the ball, they had 9 first-half turnovers. When they take care of the ball, they're scoring really, really effectively. Pretty impressive half shooting both ways, but in particular for St. Francis.
Yeah, only 3 turnovers that second 10 minutes, but they only lead by 5. Could be a lot worse for Alabama State. It's time now for a tournament bracket update sponsored by Green Gobbler. Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. It's bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and it works. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it. Well, this whole bracket update, Nick, is, of course, 2 games in Dayton tonight, 2 tomorrow, and then we get to first full day Thursday with 16 games as well as on Friday. And one of the themes of this tournament, if you know, from the outside, a lot of folks talking about how the top seeds in this tournament, the 1s and the 2 seeds, may be stronger analytically than ever before, but as we know, that's not how the tournament ever plays out.
Yeah, it's right now on paper, you think it's easy to go chalky when you're filling out that bracket, and it makes sense. To me, I kind of look at the top 8 seeds, and I break them into tiers. Tier number 1, Duke, Auburn, Florida, Houston. To me, they've separated themselves, all for different reasons. Houston can shoot the 3 this year. Florida, I think, is the most complete team playing the best right now. Auburn's had the best season, and I think Duke has the best roster. Then I look at a team like Alabama. They're banged up right now. Grant Nelson didn't play in the SEC tournament, but they got Final Four experience from a year ago. Mark Sears, one of the best point guards in the country. St. John's and Michigan State, you have 2 of the best coaches to ever coach in college basketball history, but they're the most vulnerable of the top 8 seeds to me. Michigan State, I don't think they have a true superstar. They're kind of one of those teams that the sum is greater than the individual pieces. And then St. John's, they're the number 1 defensive efficiency team in the country. But, Jason, they struggle to shoot from the perimeter. And as you know, in 40 minutes, like all it takes is a bad shooting night, and you're going home.
They did hit 13 in a row, though, in the Big East Championship on Saturday. Not from beyond the arc, but from the floor. You talked about being banged up. Certainly that is one of the stories heading into this tournament. Cooper Flagg hurt his ankle in the quarterfinal win against Georgia Tech. He missed the semis and the championship of the ACC tournament. But Duke and John Shire won it. They expect Cooper Flagg's going to go.
That's exactly my intention. It's the same thing. I mean, I think it's trending in a great way where Cooper will be ready to go right away in the NCAA tournament.
Well, they'll open up coming up. They've got Raleigh is where they will play on Friday, either against American or Mount St. Mary's, the 2 16 seeds that will play tomorrow in Dayton. And look, obviously, you've got the best player in the country, or one of the best players in the country. Him playing is important.
No question about it. Although it's pretty scary to think without the best player in the country, Duke still won the ACC tournament. The thing with Cooper Flagg, if you've not watched him play, sometimes when you think of freshmen, you conjure up images of maybe a Kevin Durant or an Anthony Davis, and while they're dominant, maybe physically they're not there. That's the thing about Cooper Flagg. He's 18 years old. He's a freshman, but he is a grown man. His ability to play through contact, get to his spots, get to the free throw line is much further past being a freshman.
Well, and if they do win it, he'll be the 4th freshman to ever lead a national championship team in scoring, joining the likes of Jahlil Okafor, Carmelo Anthony, and Anthony Davis. And, of course, when you talk about Duke, you always talk North Carolina. That game coming up later against San Diego State, about a half hour after this first one ends. And, Nick, again, this is one of the stories of this bracket, too. North Carolina, the lowest seed in school history, and many still think 48 hours later they don't deserve to be playing tonight.
Yeah, I think from a resume standpoint, I do think it's a little bit indefensible for them to be in the tournament. But I'll say this about North Carolina in defense of the committee. It's not
all about metrics. If that were the case, you wouldn't need human beings on the selection committee. You could just spit out the quadrant 1 wins, spit out the net ranking, and field your at-large teams. And so 2 things with North Carolina. Terrific non-conference strength of schedule. You're in the business of rewarding things. I like rewarding that. And when you watch them play, Jason, when it's right, that not only looks like an NCAA tournament team, that looks like a team that can make a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
Well, and Hubert Davis is 7-2 as a head coach in the NCAA tournament, and of course, as an 8 seed, got to the national championship game 3 years ago. At the half in Dayton, 39-34, St. Francis leading Alabama State. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. 'Cause I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get...
Listen up, fellow Gen Xers. Elizabeth Banks here. The recommended age for pneumococcal pneumonia vaccination has been lowered to 50 and older, even if you're healthy. It's up to us to lead the way. We've done this before. Music videos, fanny packs, even the World Wide Web. Let's do it again and get vaccinated.
What's up, insiders? It's halftime. St. Francis with the lead at the half in the first matchup of our coverage of March Madness. Every single game live. Thank you for being here. Just by being here, you're making a difference. What's up, insiders? It's halftime. St. Francis with the lead at the half in the first matchup of our coverage of March Madness. Every single game live. Thank you for being here. Just by being here, you're making a difference in our donation to SickKids Hospital and the amount of money that will be donated at the end of the month. Every single game, a percentage of revenue is sent directly to SickKids Hospital. We are almost at $10,000 raised in just under a year. Thank you for being here. Please share this link out. Please subscribe if you haven't already. And go refill those drinks. I need to go make a drink with this vanilla Coke. I don't know what I'm going to drink there. But thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We'll see you back in the chat. Don't forget, hit that link. Now's the perfect time to go fill out your bracket. And go FGCU. Remember that run to the Sweet 16? Whoo, that was crazy. The first 15 seed ever to make it to the Sweet 16. We'll see you back in the chat.
Jacksonville State 43-30. 2 minutes to go in the first half. Kent State leading St. Bonaventure 27-26. That's heading towards the half. 5 other NIT games tonight, including Wichita State at Oklahoma State and Chattanooga at Middle Tennessee State. 2 of the highlighted games coming up later on tonight. And again, reminder, Westwood One, you're home for the men's NIT and the women's WBIT from historic Hinkle Fieldhouse. It's coming up in 2 weeks on many of these same stations. You can also download the all-new Westwood One Sports app. Listen to all of our coverage there, including the NCAA tournament. Back to Dayton on the other side, 39-34, St. Francis over Alabama State. From the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, this is the men's basketball tournament.
Traveling in basketball? Bad move. Traveling the world? Great move. Wherever the road takes you, Best Western is your place to take a time out and catch your breath. Because every team needs a place to regroup. Life's a trip. Make the most of it at Best Western. Book direct and save at bestwestern.com.
Chumba Casino is now partnering with 2311 Racing. Chumba is always free to play. No purchase necessary. Find hundreds of online social casino games like bingo, solitaire, and slots with new games dropping weekly. Grab your free daily login and welcome bonus with a chance to redeem amazing prizes. Play for free today at ChumbaCasino.com. It's time to cha-cha-cha-cha-chumba. Available only to players in the U.S., excluding Washington, Michigan, Montana, Connecticut, and Nevada, and Canada, excluding Quebec. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
It comes around every year. People begin to scramble for information. It's a beast like no other. And VSiN is here to help you navigate the waters of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. It's Sharp Week, and our team of college hoops experts will guide you through your brackets. Want to know who the wagering sharps are picking? Tune in to Sharp Week on VSiN, Sirius XM 158. Sharps! You're gonna need a bigger bet.
Get ready for the 2025 NFL Draft on Sirius XM NFL Radio.
With the first pick, the Tennessee Titans select.
Catch exclusive interviews with the top prospects as they begin their journey to the NFL, starting with the Scouting Combine.
Touchdown! What a throw by Cam Ward!
And hear pick-by-pick coverage of the 2025 Draft from Green Bay in April. Your home for the 2025 NFL Draft is NFL Radio Channel 88 in the car and the Sirius XM app.
Back at the half in Dayton, where St. Francis leads Alabama State 39-34 with 20 minutes down and 20 minutes to go. Nate Gatter, King McClure, our entire Westwood One crew with you courtside at UD Arena, where the first four is officially underway, and we had a compelling first half indeed, with St. Francis on top by 5 at the break. Let's check the halftime stats, sponsored by Barbasol. Barbasol shaving cream delivers a thick lather and close, comfortable shave for half the price of gels. Why pay more for a great shave? Choose Barbasol. For St. Francis, 59% from the field, 50% from three, and they out-rebounded Alabama State by 5. Cranford, the Dayton native, had 13, including 4 of 5 from deep. He added a team-high 6 rebounds. Juan Cranford averages only 4 rebounds a game at 6'3", but he had 6 in the opening half. Also, Valentino Pinedo had 11 points, and Riley Parker added 10. The 3 usual suspects for the Red Flash in double figures. They combined for 39 of St. Francis's 39 points. For Alabama State, 42% from the field, 33% from three-point range. They did not attempt a field goal. They did win the turnover battle. They only had 3 of them against 9 St. Francis turnovers, but that was really the lone bright spot. They started 5 of 11 from 3. They went just 1 of 7 down the stretch, and that allowed St. Francis to lead by as many as 9. But Alabama State, King, cut it down to 39-34 at the half. They will have the first possession of the second half. Not out of this game by any stretch.
You know what? It seems like St. Francis played some of their best basketball in that first half. And although Alabama State's only down by 5, they haven't really played well. So I'm interested to see if when Alabama State starts playing their best basketball, what does that look like? Will they be able to take the lead? Because I think St. Francis gave us their best shot in the first half.
Yeah, the usual suspects still haven't really gotten going on the Alabama State side. Hines had just 5 points on 2 of 7 shooting, just 6 points for Knox. The leading scorer is Deontay Bass, who had 8 in the first half. He only averages 4.5 per game on the season. Our halftime score, St. Francis 39, Alabama State 34. The second half is coming up. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Ball above all. Am I right, y'all? Any questions?
Professor, NCAA Division I women's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to get loud? Rep your squad? Get your players hyped up to go all the way to the ship? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/WBB tickets.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
So, you want to buy a house. You could go online, do your research, find the dream listing, go see it, and get catfished. Back to the drawing board. More scheduling, more viewings, more this doesn't even look like the photos. You could finally find one that does match the photos. Then comes the offer. Stress rash? Yep, make that 3. And here's the paperwork. Yep, never-ending paperwork. It's a lot. But you don't have to do it alone. Because there's an agent who's a realtor here to guide and help protect you as you find the home that's right for you. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
The Jeep Celebration event is your chance to start a brand new adventure with great deals on our legendary Go Anywhere, Do Anything SUVs, like the Grand Cherokee 4xe, our most capable Grand Cherokee ever, the Jeep Wrangler 4xe, our most capable Wrangler ever, or the Jeep Compass, our most affordable SUV. Hurry in for an exceptional offer during the Jeep Celebration event and let the adventure of a lifetime begin. Jeep is a registered trademark of FCA US LLC.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Almost time for the start of the second half. St. Francis 39, Alabama State 34 in the first of 67 games of the 2025 NCAA tournament. Nate Gatter, King McClure back with you courtside in Dayton. Time now to connect with our analysts for the second half. Keys, sponsored by Wago. Trust your game, trust your wiring with Wago electrical connectors. Gear up at wago.com/hoop for your next electrical project. All right, King, let's start with St. Francis.
You have to take care of the basketball. I mean, you allowed 15 points off of your turnovers to Alabama State. If you take care of the basketball, this is a double-digit game if you're St. Francis. For Alabama State, number one, you have to get up in St. Francis and not allow them to be comfortable. Too many times their points in the half-court offense came from when St. Francis was their most comfortable selves. And on the offensive side for Alabama State, they have to have more fluidity in the movement of their offense. A lot of times it was too stagnant. When they were able to run their flare screens, run their down screens, and their offense actually looked good is when there was movement, when there was flow, when there was pace, when they had a purpose to what they were doing. So on offense, run it to where you can actually be deliberate every single time you touch the basketball. And on the defensive side, continually make them uncomfortable and don't lose track of Parker or Cranford.
The mighty marching horn, the Alabama State band wailing away beneath the basket down to our right-hand side next to their Hornets bench in the gold uniforms with the right trim. St. Francis huddling up away to our left in the red uniforms with the white and navy blue trim. That buzzer means it's time for the start of the second half. St. Francis 39 and Alabama State 34. Time now for the start of the second half, sponsored by Indeed.com. You just realized your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. Start at Indeed.com/credit. Alabama State will have the same five on the floor that it had to begin the game. Knox, Hines, Madlock, and Octave in the backcourt. Walker is the center at 6'10". For St. Francis, the same story. Cranford, Kelly, Parker, and Moncrief, the guards. And the center is Valentino Pinedo. Something else to keep an eye on, St. Francis shot 10 free throws in the first half, made 7. Alabama State did not shoot a free throw in that first half. St. Francis was only called for 6 personal fouls, none of them shooting. Alabama State starts with the basketball. TJ Madlock works from left to right. He had 4 points in that first half. They get it down to him. He's double-teamed on the block. He tries to kick it out, and a foul called. Madlock was hit as he was throwing the pass by Riley Parker, who picks up his second very early here in the second half.
And I like what they did right here. Intentionally try to get Madlock on the block, posted up one of the smaller guards for St. Francis, so they can force the double so he can pass out.
Madlock, top of the arc. Throws it to Hines, who works on the dribble over to the left wing. Harassed by Parker, who now has to be a little careful with those 2 fouls. 7 on the shot clock. Hines high left. Crosses over. Gets a switch. Drives to the block. And it's stripped away by Parker. He runs out right to left. Wiggle dribble with the left hand. Got caught in the air, but threw it out dangerously to Moncrief. Right wing Kelly. He slashes in on the left-hand dribble. Dragged his pivot foot, and he traveled. That's the 10th St. Francis turnover in not even 21 minutes of basketball tonight. 39-34 St. Francis. 6-game winning streaks for each of these teams hanging in the balance. Both of them had losing records in February. Both of them have flipped the script down the stretch. Alabama State attacking the rim to our right now in the second half against a man-to-man St. Francis defense that was consistent through the first half. Hines gallops down the right side of the lane. Layup good with the right hand. C.J. Hines has 7, and Alabama State trails by just 3.
And there's flow to the offense now. They are moving with the purpose. They're getting what they want on pick-and-roll actions. 2 good possessions for Alabama State.
Alabama State falls back into a man-to-man. The Hornets did show a couple of zone defenses, 1-3-1 and 2-3. Left wing, Parker free. His three-pointer no good off the heel. Offensive rebound out to Moncrief. Gets rid of it to Cranford, who sets up on the right wing. Whistles one underneath to the block. Moncrief, Pinedo, extra pass. Out to the right corner. Kelly 3. It rattles in. DeMar Kelly hits the triple. His first of the game on his 3rd try, and St. Francis is back up 6.
That's just great ball movement. Sharing the sugar right there.
That was 4 St. Francis touches in the last second or 2 of the possession. Left wing Knox. He drives to the baseline. Cut off by the help side defender, Pinedo. Works back to the middle of the paint. Pump fake. Step through. Up and under. Layup scooped home. Beautifully done by Amar Knox. 42-38 St. Francis. 2 minutes played second half.
Knox is so crafty. Getting into the paint. Takes his time. Never in a rush. Good finish right there.
He's only taken 6 shots from the field. Feels like the Hornets need to try to find him a little more. Hard hedge on Parker. The ball knocked out of his hands on the near sideline out of bounds. Last off Alabama State.
You know, Knox is a guy that struggled. I mean, only averaging 7 points in the last 3, 18% from the field in those games. He's really been struggling as of recent, especially in the conference tournament.
It's a good point. He was a double-figure scorer 23 times this year, but did not get to 10 points the entire SWAC tournament. Near side left, Parker throws it right wing, Moncrief. Underneath, Pinedo comes free for the layup. What a find by Chris Moncrief.
That's what happens when you hard hedge the ball screen. If you get it swung on the reversal, the big is usually wide open.
This St. Francis ball movement is great the first 2.5 minutes of the second half. Left wing, Knox works into the elbow extended. Kick out left corner. Hines drives to the baseline. Draws a second defender. Lost the ball out of bounds off St. Francis. So 15 on the timer. Alabama State keeps it. Trailing by 6. 17-24 to go second half. To wrap up that conversation on Knox, it was the first time all season he's been held in single digits for 3 straight games. But he has 8 in this one, and still 17-20 and counting to go. Hines between the rings, 8 to shoot. Goes left wing, Knox. He peeks up at the timer, 6. Drives left, cut off the mid-post, leans in, scoops the layup, no, and the rebound on the near side by Cranford off the miss, his game-high 7. An outlet pass for Parker is kicked away by Octave.
And one thing that hasn't been working for this Alabama State offense is one-on-one baskets. They have not been able to score on St. Francis one-on-one because they are really good defenders when it comes to not relying on the help and keeping the ball in front of you. That's why you have to run your offense. That's why you have to be able to move with the purpose. And the times that they have done at Alabama State, they've gotten good attempts. When they play one-on-one, they settle and get bad shots.
Alabama State falls back into the 1-3-1 defense. St. Francis initiating offense, attacking the rim to our left. 3 minutes into the second half with a ball and a 6-point lead. Cranford works in on the left wing, terminates the dribble, skip pass right corner. Kelly pump fake on a 3, drives, floater from just beyond the right block. DeMar Kelly has 5 points early in the second half, 7 for the game, and a 46-38 lead for St. Francis. Kelly did not look super comfortable with the offensive end of the floor in the first half, but he has 5 points in 3.5 minutes since the break. Hines with the basketball, right-hand dribble for the Hornets, drives to the block. His bank shot wouldn't go. Rebound loose, pulled in by Stephen Walker, who sticks it back up and in off the glass.
And that's what Walker has to do for this Alabama State team. You have to clean up the misses and give your team a second chance points.
He's a surprisingly inefficient scorer, Walker, for his size and where his shots come from. Just 41% for the field this year. That makes him only 1 of 5 in the game. His first bucket. Near side left wing, Moncrief puts down his shoulder, bangs into Hines, right block floater, no good off the window, and the rebound tipped to Walker for Alabama State. Inside 16 minutes to play in regulation. St. Francis 46, Alabama State 40. Hornets basketball. Left wing, wiggle by Knox. Step back, corner three. Missed it. Rebound loose, out of bounds off the outstretched right fingertips of Micah Octave for Alabama State. And St. Francis will have it on the other side of the timeout. 15:48 remaining. St. Francis 46, Alabama State 40 from the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network. This is the men's basketball tournament.
Nothing matches the passion, the excitement, the history-making moments of college sports. Nobody takes you inside the greatest campuses and stadiums across the country like Sirius XM College Sports Radio. We bring you closer to college football, basketball, baseball, softball, lacrosse, and so much more. No matter the season, we have something for you. Your home for all things college sports is on Sirius XM College Sports Radio, Channel 84, and on the Sirius XM app.
Every April, all of the best golfers in the world come together at the game's greatest place. And you can hear all the sounds from the 2025 Masters Tournament on SiriusXM.
Augusta National roars like never before.
When the action begins on the course, we have the birdies, the eagles, and the winning moments.
Scotty Scheffler is the Masters champion.
Hear Masters Radio on SiriusXM starting Monday, April 7th, exclusively on Channel 92 in the car and on the SiriusXM app.
Mad Dog Unleashed with Christopher Russo.
Rick Pitino coaches St. John's.
When you're from here and you know St. John's back in the 60s and 70s and 80s and 90s, to see St. John's back being so relevant, being a top 10 team, being a 2 seed, being the Garden packed. So it's an extra special feeling besides the team winning and being very proud of the guys. For me personally, it's something that goes beyond just the winning season.
Weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Sirius XM 82.
College basketball fans, wake up to SEC This Morning. We're the only show talking SEC hoops 5 days a week.
One of the best college basketball leagues ever assembled.
Hosts that know your team inside and out.
The Southeastern Conference is doing unprecedented things.
Plus coaches, players, and experts.
We are in the golden age of basketball in the Southeastern Conference.
Get analysis and insights every morning. Weekdays starting at 8 a.m. Eastern on SEC Radio Channel 374 and the Sirius XM app.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championship.
Find out what channel your team is playing on by going to SiriusXM.com/sports.
Yo, it's Jacob Hester from Off Campus on College Sports Radio. For full breakdowns of this game and more, tune in weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. Eastern on Channel 84 or anytime on the SiriusXM app.
Dayton, gain a winning edge for your business with Grainger. Get fast delivery of industrial-grade supplies to help keep your operations going when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. 15:48 to play, second half in Dayton. St. Francis 46, Alabama State 40. And out of the half, Alabama State has shown some renewed energy, but St. Francis has been able to guard well enough to keep the Hornets from putting together any kind of run so far.
You can't rely on one-on-one when you play against this St. Francis defense. We talked about it in the open. If St. Francis just stays solid, don't gamble, don't try to go for steals, just stay solid. They can be okay on the defensive side. But when you start getting a little loose defensively on your principles, that's when Alabama State can really pick you apart.
Full court trapping press from Alabama State. Cross-court pass intercepted by a leaping Knox. He runs to the rim. William No with a tip up and in by Octave. Alabama State gets a turnover and capitalizes. 46-42 St. Francis. Inbound pass to Cranford. He's harassed by a double team right away. Dribbling along the baseline. Throws a baseball pass to midcourt. Moncrief catches. Sprints to the rim. Turns in the paint. Throws right block to Pinedo, whose right-hand floater air balls. Grabbed by Madlock for the Hornets. Here comes Alabama State left to right. Madlock on a pull-up, left side, 15-footer. Missed it off the left. Rebound off the outstretched hands of Cranford, who couldn't pull it in, and Alabama State gets a gift of an offensive rebound as it bounces out of bounds on the baseline.
And I like that full-court pressure by Alabama State. Use your speed to your advantage.
Seemed like it made St. Francis uncomfortable right away. Hines between the rings on the left-hand belt-high dribble. Throws it over to Madlock, left side. Faces up on Cranford to Octave in the corner, working on Moncrief. 8 to shoot. Octave, surprise pull-up, left corner three, missed it short, and the rebound tipped out to Parker for St. Francis.
Bad possession right there by Alabama State. Not the shot they wanted.
Moncrief drives left to the paint, throws right block. Pinedo, who's fouled by Madlock, and that's the third personal foul on Madlock with 14:52 remaining, and 2 foul shots coming for Pinedo. Robinhood Gold gets you a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions. The new gold standard is here. Sign up at robinhood.com/gold. The Valentino Pinedo, who already has 13 points, tied with Cranford for the game high at the line. First one good. 61% foul shooter. It's one of the only weaknesses on his statistical profile, but he's made all 4 of his foul shots in the game. First season at St. Francis after a couple of years at East Carolina. Second free throw on the way, and good. St. Francis 48, Alabama State 42. The lead has grown by 1 since halftime. The winner of this game will move on to Thursday in Lexington to take on the top overall seed in the tournament, the Auburn Titans. Left wing Knox, flashes to the mid-post, kicks out Matlock. Extra pass Hines, right corner pump fake. He drives to the block, up over Pinedo. Layup wouldn't go. Offensive rebound, pulled down by Ocon, and he is fouled underneath on the floor. A rebound in traffic for the 7'1" senior from Nigeria. Riley Parker picked up a foul. He has 3. So both Matlock and Parker, probably the most important player for each team with 3 fouls. Matlock is continuing to play for Alabama State. Parker checks right out for St. Francis.
And that's now 6 offensive rebounds with this Alabama State team. Remember, at the last 4 minutes, it was 0-0. Now they have 6.
Pass, short corner left, terminated the dribble, needs some help, throws it out near midcourt to Knox. 10 on the timer, Alabama State ball down 6, 14-15 left in the game. Knox crosses over, drives left, snakes to the rim for the lefty lay-in, and for the first time since the regular season finale, Knox is into double figures. He pulls Alabama State within 4. Cranford on the left-hand dribble straight away for St. Francis. Takes on even more of the perimeter scoring load with Riley Parker on the bench with 3 fouls for the Red Flags. Damar Kelly comes to get it between the rings. Pinedo right wing. He drives on Ocon, and he's fouled. Was it Ocon or the help side defender Hines? It's Ocon who gets the foul. That's his second. That's the second on Alabama State as well in the second half. Both teams only 2 fouls through 6 minutes and change, so the bonus still a ways off with 13:52 remaining in this second half. Shot clock resets to 20. Inbound left block. Cranford spins into a righty layup. Missed it. Rebound tipped out to the right elbow for Pinedo, who floats it in. Pinedo has a game-high 17. How about the offensive rebound by Kelly, throwing it out in one motion?
And that's just way too easy, and Ocon has to be better down low.
He's generally played 15 to 20 minutes a game, Ubong Ocon, but I don't think he's going to be out there for that number in this game, not with the way that Tony Madlock, the third-year head coach, has reacted to some of those plays. Knox drives, right side, layup, goes up and in. 50-46, St. Francis. Alabama State hanging around.
Coach Madlock does a really good job putting Knox in positions to use his speed to get downhill and finish at the rim.
That's a dozen for Knox to lead the Hornets. And he's had 8 of them since halftime. Kelly gets to the right elbow. Bounce pass down to the knees of Pinedo. He pulled it in off a deflection. Throws it out to Sanon right side. Re-entry to Pinedo. Drives underneath. His layup is blocked. Bass got a piece of it and comes away with a basketball for Alabama State. Hornets with possession. 12:50 to go. Trailing by 4. Knox with a wiggle. Mid-post right. Floater rims in and out. And it's rebounded on the strong side by Moncrief for St. Francis. He's on the run right to left. Moncrief high post right. Wiggles. Throws it to the baseline. Cranford with his back to the basket against Hines. Isolated. Bangs into him once and twice with the right shoulder. Lefty hook. No good off the heel. Tipped by Pinedo. He lost out. And Bass rips away the rebound for the Hornets. Here comes Hines left to right. Another chance for Alabama State. Hines to the rim. Double clutch layup is swatted out of bounds to the baseline by Damar Kelly. What a start to the second half for Kelly at both ends of the floor. Spruce is a new weed and grass killer with 9 simple yet effective ingredients that are safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spruce works differently by dehydrating the weed down to the roots. 12:23 remaining second half. St. Francis 50, Alabama State 46. We're closing in on another media timeout, and Cranford sits down, so both he and Parker are out at the same time. Just interesting offensively for St. Francis. Left corner, wide open 3. Micah Simpson canned it. He comes free on the baseline screen, and he pulls Alabama State within 1.
What a play. A misdirection on the backside to free up the shooter. We're seeing some high-level offense being ran by Coach Madlock.
And now St. Francis needs an answer without its 2 best guards on the floor. Pinedo looking for the handoff to Sanon, who's denied the ball. He has to come back and get it. Working on Madlock, near side left with 10 on the timer. Cut off, driving toward the left baseline. Throws it out to Moncrief, 6 to shoot. Moncrief, crossover right to left. Pull up left elbow. Off the front rim. No, and Madlock has the rebound for Alabama State. Hornets can take the lead. Near side right, Fulcher. Pass fake. High post. Kick out. Left wing. Pump fake. Simpson, a 3. No, too strong. Madlock, the offensive rebound, and he's fouled. Time out on the floor. 11:32 to go in the second half. Alabama State is knocking on the door. St. Francis's lead is trimmed down to 1. 50-49. Red flash. There's a break in the action sponsored by Straight Talk Wireless. Need more data so you can stream your jam mix on loop? Switch to Straight Talk and get real unlimited data on a reliable 5G network. Straight Talk, available at Walmart or straighttalk.com. St. Francis 50, Alabama State 49 with 11:32 to play. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
Your business needed to hire some.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Thanks for hanging out with us. Have you filled out your bracket yet? Have you filled it out and have you joined our group yet? To track all the way through every single live stream that we do here on Toronto Sports Insider for March Madness. Get your brackets in now. They lock Thursday before the first game tips off. So make sure you click that link that is pinned in the chat. And while you're at it and we've got your attention, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell. We're trying to grow an awesome community here and hit 100,000 subscribers. Please help us get there. We'll be live every single game of March Madness. See you back in the chat.
Realtors, right by you.
It's time for basketball, and right now Uber Eats has deals on McDonald's, Popeyes, Pizza Hut, Wendy's, and hundreds more local favorites, so you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a hamburger. Get game day deals now only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Okay. Be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio with the NCAA Experience. Official ticket and hospitality packages. Official NCAA hospitality includes live entertainment, upscale food stations and beverages, appearances by NCAA legends, and much more. To be a VIP at the men's Final Four in San Antonio, visit ncaa.com/VIP. Nate Gatter, King McClure, our entire Westwood One crew back with you courtside in Dayton, where St. Francis leads 50-49 over Alabama State with 11:32 left. But Alabama State has the basketball, and Amar Knox has settled in since halftime and just asserted himself offensively.
Yeah, credit to Coach Madlock. Just putting him in positions to succeed. One of his best strengths in the Knox is getting downhill, and we've seen countless times they run quick actions to where as soon as he touches it, there's a ball screen coming, which is one of the hardest things to guard as a defender. So he continuously puts him in positions to succeed and to get downhill. This Alabama State team is finally getting it rolling, and it seems like they're settling into this ball game.
Interesting stretch here as there's a foul for a moving screen on the inbound play by Alabama State, and it's O'Con who has struggled in this game, who picks up his third personal foul, his second in quick succession.
And they try to run the elevator screen right there to have the shooter go through.
Inbound pass nearly stolen by Bass, but he stepped out of bounds while trying to save it. Neither team looks comfortable out of this timeout. And I was just going to say, it's not surprising it's a little bit of a helter-skelter stretch because Cranford and Parker are both on the bench for St. Francis, and the officials have a timeout to check maybe on the clock. And just as we were talking about Knox, both he and Hines, the two best guards for Alabama State, are sitting at the same time. So we're seeing kind of bench on bench right now.
But if you notice, Coach Madlock keeps his son in the game. And it's not because it's daddy-son ball, right? No, it's because Madlock means so much to this team. He keeps them under control. He makes plays, but he trusts them. He trusts that he's not going to pick up his fourth. But he keeps Madlock on the floor because he means so much to this team.
Now 3 fouls for Madlock and 3 for Parker on the St. Francis side. Also 3 for O'Con for Alabama State. Nobody has 4 yet with 11:27 to go second half. St. Francis 50 and Alabama State 49. Both teams have been called for 3 fouls in the second half. Both have 3 timeouts remaining. St. Francis has the possession arrow pointed their way toward the basket to our left-hand side. We're ready to go again. 25 is the reset shot clock. The inbound goes all the way to the front court from the near sideline to the back court. Caught by Moncrief off the short hop. And Whistler Shannon can set it up, throwing it out high for the true freshman Jeremy Clayville for St. Francis. Handoff near side left to Kelly. Floats the pass to the right slot on the perimeter to Pinedo. Dribble handoff Clayville with 7 to shoot. He's working against Fulcher. Gets a high screen with 5. Clayville pull up 3 on the way. Good! Jeremy Clayville, the freshman, splashes a triple on his first shot in the NCAA tournament, and it's a 53-49 St. Francis lead with 10:50 to go.
That's a tough shot. Stop and pop on the rescreen. High-level bucket right there.
Near side right. Fulcher attacks right block. His pass toward O'Con. Sails over his head and it's stolen. St. Francis right to left. Sanan goes up and he gets it to go on the layup through contact. Whistler Shannon makes the bucket. 55-49. St. Francis right back up by 6. Step back left wing 3. Simpson can't answer. Long offensive rebound grabbed by Bass on the hop. Right side Madlock. He's hand check fouled by Shannon. And that takes us to a much-needed pause. You can listen to Westwood One's exclusive coverage of the NCAA men's basketball tournament for free on the Varsity Network app. Listen to every game live or on demand. Download the Varsity Network app now and search NCAA Championships. Juan Cranford Jr. and Riley Parker return for St. Francis. C.J. Hines returns for Alabama State, but somewhat surprisingly, no Amar Knox yet. He doesn't have a foul, so this is just about resting him. He's only played 19 of the 30 minutes in the game. I would think Knox probably feels like he's got enough in the tank to be out there.
Down the stretch, they know they need him. He would not be pulled out in the game down the stretch when he comes back in.
Fulcher works in on the dribble, 7 to shoot, crosses over on Clayville, and he was fouled. A late whistle. Fulcher stumbled down to a knee, nearly lost the dribble, and Clayville is shocked. That's the 5th team foul now on St. Francis, so all of a sudden we're getting toward bonus territory. Second on Clayville. What do you think?
This is coming to play. The more fouls that St. Francis commits, I think it's due strictly to Alabama State putting pressure on the defense by looking to attack downhill.
10 minutes left. Near side right, Simpson comes free. Pump fake on a 3. Kick out right corner. Bass triple. Missed it short. Weak side rebound. Yanked down by Shannon for St. Francis. He runs out right to left. Red Flash on a 5-0 run to stretch their lead from 1 back out to 6. They have led by as many as 9. They have not trailed since the first 6 minutes of the game. Right slot Pinedo, kick out right corner. Clayville another 3. Missed it short. Strong side rebound deflected to Hines for Alabama State. He's on the run left to right. Euro step on Parker. Layup hit the underside of the backboard. Offensive rebound Bass. Kick out Fulcher on the left wing. Thought about a 3. Steps back and takes it. And drills it for the left corner. Right in front of the Alabama State bench. Fulcher high-fives his head coach Tony Madlock. And he pulls Alabama State back within 3 with 9:20 remaining.
That's a confident shot. That's one of those no, yes.
On the drive, Pinedo right side of the rim, missed the layup on the much smaller Fulcher. Alabama State the other way. Fulcher only a 32% three-point shooter, but he took it with confidence. Bass, left corner, missed the 3 for the tie. Shannon is fouled on the rebound by O'Con, who is determined to foul out of this basketball game. That's 4 fouls on the freshman O'Con in 10 minutes. He just can't stop himself, King. He just can't.
And I was thinking that in my head. It's like, man, this young man just can't help himself. He continuously puts himself in scenarios to foul. Goodness gracious, you have to get him out the ball game. Because you keep him out there, number 1, he's going to foul out. Number 2, he's going to put St. Francis in the bonus just by himself.
Now there's 4 fouls on Alabama State in the second half. 3 of them are on O'Con. Still 2 more fouls to give for Alabama State. 9:02 left in the game. St. Francis up 55-52. And the Red Flash will have to inbound from under their basket. 2-2-1 pressure put on by the Hornets. And they've been serious about it in the second half. They've showed some trap. This time they back away, just slowing them down. Pass ahead to Parker, right wing. Bounce past Pinedo. Short corner right. Throws it out to Shannon. He drives to the baseline. He is clipped and a foul. He tumbled down to the baseline, and that puts the pressure on the official to call it one way or the other. And it is the second foul on Micah Simpson, who just got his left foot or leg in the way.
They got that left knee, clipped him with the left knee, which made him fall.
So that's 5 fouls on each team now in the second half. St. Francis is the better free throw shooting team. Off the inbound, Clayville, right wing three, missed it short. Strong side rebound grab by Walker for Alabama State, which shoots just 69% for the free throw line. Bottom third of Division I teams. Top of the arc, Hines, he drives left of the paint, terminates on the block, spins to the middle. He goes up, and it's blocked by Parker for St. Francis. Here come the red flash right to left. 3-point lead with the basketball. Cranford, fancy dribble, right wing, step back, three, missed it, too strong. Long rebound off a bounce, in a crowd, and snatched away by Simpson. He's on the run, 2-on-2. Hines takes a tumble, Simpson goes himself, missed the layup, offensive rebound, Fulcher. Simpson, right wing, Hines, top of the arc, Fulcher, had the three earlier. He backs it out. 8:05 left in the first four. 3-point game. Alabama State down with the ball. Fletcher gets to the left block. Bounce pass underneath. Walker pulled it in at his knees and dropped it in to bring Alabama State back within one.
Good play by Fulcher. Get to the paint. Don't try to force it up over the defense. Find your big in the dunker spot. Good layup.
How about the catch by the 6'10 Walker on the pass, skidding in toward his shins. Parker for St. Francis. Throws it to the right corner, Clayville. He drives the baseline. Kick out, left corner. Cranford thought about it. Goes to Clayville, swinging to Parker. Straight on, wide open three. Missed it to the right. That's the rebound, Alabama State. Parker, a 40% three-point shooter. That was straight on, nobody around, like he's in the gym back in Loretto, and it didn't go down. 7:25 left. Alabama State with the ball, down by one. The Hornets have not led since the 14-20 mark of the first half. Fulcher straight on three. Missed it short. Rebound Sanic. He looks up. He finds Clayville on the run out. Clayville shields off Fulcher. Lays it up good. St. Francis back up by three. Timeout, Alabama State. Tony Madlock is very frustrated at the three-pointer taken by Fulcher and then the poor transition defense. 7:06 remaining second half. St. Francis 57, Alabama State 54. You're listening to the Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce!
It's Spruce, the new hard-working, worry-free weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people and pets. When used as directed, spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Weeds die by the next day. Find Spruce wherever weed killers are sold.
Something amazing is happening in education. Students are inspired and engaged. That's because school districts consulted with CDW, who designed modern classroom solutions with pre-configured HP devices, making learning more accessible, secure, and immersive. Now when students study topics like elephants, it feels like elephants are there with them. HP and CDW. Make amazing happen. Learn more at cdw.com/HPPSG.
And that is why many of the greatest feats of fandom require you to be on your feet. Any questions?
Professor, NCAA men's basketball is back. Are we ready?
You prepared to show up, show out, give it 110 from tip to the final buzzer? Oh, you're ready. March Madness. Attendance is encouraged. Passion is mandatory. Buy your seats today at ncaa.com/MVB tickets.
Without maintenance teams behind the scenes, everything stops. Even the game. Lights, broadcast equipment, cooling, you ensure the assets that matter most work. MaintainX was built for professionals like you. A modern maintenance app that helps manage work orders, schedule maintenance, and track inventory. So keep the madness on the court, not in your operations. Try MaintainX free at maintainx.com/MVP. That's maintain in the letter x.com/MVP.
57-54, St. Francis leading Alabama State, 7:06 to go in Dayton. We'll get you right back there. But Jason Horowitz, Nick Baugh with a studio update sponsored by Uber Eats. Uber Eats is delivering game day deals from hundreds of your local favorites all week. Order now on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details. Nick, Alabama State's playing uphill this entire game, but it feels like if they hit that one shot to take the lead, they may win this thing.
As we know, emotion plays such a huge part in these NCAA tournament games, and you're right. right. It seems like they can't quite get over that hump and capture that momentum. Unbelievable bench production, though, from Alabama State. 25 bench points for the Hornets. Impressive.
Let's get back to Dayton. Nate Gatter, King McClure.
Thank you, Jason. We have 7:06 to play in regulation. St. Francis 57, Alabama State 54. And it does feel like that time to start saying left in regulation, just in case. As we have been nip and tuck all the way, Alabama State has gotten within 1 point a couple of different occasions in this second half. As Nick said, those shots to go ahead just have not fallen. All right, emotional moments of an emotional sport and maybe the most emotional tournament on the face of planet Earth. Amar Knox drives right to the paint for Alabama State. Down 3 with the ball. Kick out Bass. Straight on. Gives it up to Simpson. He dribbles between the rings. 8 to shoot. Gets a screen from Bass. Switch on Parker, right wing. Crosses over left hand with 5. Gets to the left block. Layup blocked by Kelly, who bats it off the face of Riley Parker and out of bounds into the Alabama State bench. Just 1.3 on the shot clock. And there's a media timeout to allow Alabama State to talk about it and Riley Parker to ice his nose. 6:37 to go, second half. St. Francis 57, Alabama State 54. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Choose Syntec full synthetic motor oil designed for today's engines exclusively at your O'Reilly Auto Parts store or O'ReillyAuto.com.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is the story of the one. He's responsible for keeping a leading healthcare facility clean and safe. And he trusts Grainger's high-quality HVAC cleaning and safety products, combined with their world-class supply chain, to consistently deliver, ensuring he's covered inside and out, so he can focus on keeping his facility clean to help protect the health of everyone inside. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Testing.
We are live from Chick-fil-A.
This is Grant.
And this is Laura.
And a little thing we love about the Chick-fil-A Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich is that sweet bun.
And that chicken filet was perfectly crispy and soft at the same time.
And that Smokehouse Barbecue sauce, it's a lot of fun. And the brown sugar bacon definitely had a little bit more pizzazz. Also, the Mac, one of the all-time greats. Man, I'm getting hungry.
Order the Smokehouse Barbecue Bacon Sandwich and our Coca-Cola on the Chick-fil-A app for a limited time. Real guests paid for their testimonials.
A Progressive Home and Auto Bundle can protect you round the clock, but we can't protect you from those painful moments in sports.
I can't believe they're moving the team to another city.
True, but you'll never forget all the joy they brought into your life.
Joy? They made the playoffs twice in 50 years.
Gosh, those 2 times were pretty great, weren't they?
How would I know? I wasn't even born yet.
Just think of all the free time you'll have on game days.
Those games were the highlight of my week.
Well, at least your home and auto are protected with a bundle from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
6:37 remaining at the first four in Dayton. St. Francis 57, Alabama State 54. Let's check some of the stats, sponsored by Intuit TurboTax. With TurboTax, now taxes is getting an expert who files your taxes for you, so you can stay locked in on the madness. Intuit TurboTax. Now this is taxes. 2 numbers really stand out to me, King McClure. Number 1 is Alabama State started 5 of 11 from 3. Since then, they're 3 of 16. Number 2, maybe more importantly, St. Francis 9 of 12 at the free throw line. Alabama State 0 for 0. They haven't taken a single foul shot.
And I think that's because St. Francis is doing a really good job of walling up. And what do I mean by that? When they go vertical on their contest, they don't bring their hands down. That's why they're able to get those 5-6 block shots that they have already. And I mean, Alabama State is getting to the rim. They are looking to attack, but because of the contest that we're seeing from St. Francis, it's not allowing them to get to the free throw line.
Just 1.3 on the shot clock. Inbound Walker, left wing 3, missed it short. Offensive rebound, Matlock, who sticks it back up and in with the right hand. Alabama State stays close, just down 1, 6.5 to go.
Alabama State has dominated the glass in the second half.
That's 11 offensive rebounds for Alabama State, just 2 for St. Francis. Left wing, Kelly crosses over left to right. Kick out right corner. Riley Parker, quiet in the second half. First team all NEC. St. Francis is leading scorer. He bullies to the baseline. He gets away with a push-off. He ducks in the jumper from the right baseline. He shoved Fulcher almost off the court, and he hits the little 12-footer to make it a 3-point lead again for St. Francis.
That definitely like an offensive foul to me if I've seen one. Right arm came up to the face. Should have been going the opposite way.
Alabama State basketball. Working toward the rim to our right. Far side, left baseline, short corner. Matlock, he rises up over the defender, missed the floater. Rebound on the weak side is knocked out of bounds and taken by St. Francis. Those were the first 2 points of the second half for Riley Parker. He had 10 in the first half. 5:40 left, second half. 59-56. St. Francis on top of Alabama State. Red flash with the basketball, a chance to extend it to a 2-possession advantage. Near side left, it's Parker. Between the rings, Moncrief, swinging around. Right side, Moncrief rolls, he gets the feed, he goes up for the layup, and he's fouled. If that's Madlock, it's his 4th. Nate Gatter and King McClure here at our Grainger broadcast position in Dayton. Stay on top of your game with Grainger. Get the industrial-grade products right when you need them to help your business move forward when you call 1-800-GRAINGER or click Grainger.com. It is indeed the 4th personal foul on TJ Madlock with 5:21 left in the second half. Moncrief at the foul line. He's 1 of 2 in the game, 60% of the year. First one up, and no good off the back rim. And again, Madlock's going to stay in the game. The foul trouble has not been a factor, apparently, in how his dad, Tony Madlock, the third-year head coach of Alabama State, has managed his minutes.
Madlock has to understand right now that, everything is on the line at this moment. So whatever you do, if you have to give up 2 points, that is okay. Because those 2 points that you give up aren't as valuable as the points that you can create on the opposite side when you have the basketball in your hands.
Moncrief connects on the second free throw. 60-56 St. Francis. 5:15 remaining in the game. Between the rings, it's Hines. Throws high pass left. Walker finds a back-cutting Madlock. He lays it in. Whistle foul. Count the basket. TJ Madlock again, playing with 4 fouls. That's why his dad, Tony, needs him on the floor. And he'll have a chance at a 3-point play to bring Alabama State within 1. 5:09 remaining.
That's just a good offensive setup right there. You lift everybody, get the ball to your big, act like you're coming off a dribble handoff. You fake it and go back door immediately. Good pass right there by Steven and good layup by Madlock.
First free throw attempt of the game for Alabama State. It's up and good. Madlock, the 71% free throw shooter on the year. Completes the 3-point play. Once again, Alabama State within 1. They've done that 3 different times in the last few minutes. They have not led in the second half.
Just seems as if they can't get over the hump, Nate. They get right there, and then St. Francis hits a big shot or something, but Alabama State has to find a way to get over that hump, and it starts from the defensive side of things.
Final 5 minutes. St. Francis 60, Alabama State 59. A couple of teams that played tons of close games this year. Cranford attacks, left wing, floater, mid-post left, missed it off the heel. He got his own miss. St. Francis has a fresh 20. Out high, Parker crosses over, around a Pinedo screen. Kick out, Kelly, left corner. He was looking for Parker back that way, and the pass was wide of him and out of bounds. It's a St. Francis turnover, 3rd of the second half against 9 in the first half. But Alabama State has another chance to take the lead.
And that's the stop that you want if you're Alabama State. But right now on the offensive side of things, let's see if they can get Knox going downhill.
Alabama State basketball trailing 60-59. 4.5 minutes to go in the game. Between the rings, Hines. He gets a high screen from Walker. Works around it to the left side. Step back, left wing three. It's good! For the first time in 30 minutes, Alabama State takes the lead. C.J. Hines delivers for the Hornets. Alabama State 62, St. Francis 60, with 4:10 to go in the first 4. Riley Parker near side left. St. Francis behind for the first time since the opening 6 minutes. He throws it to the right wing. Cranford, extra pass, Moncrief. Kicks it left wing. Kelly a 3. Missed it short. Rebound grabbed by Alabama State's Micah Octane. Knox brings it ahead left to right for the Hornets. Crosses over, drives right, hit by Kelly and a foul. Missed the layup, but Knox will shoot 2 free throws. On the other side of the timeout, the Alabama State Hornets, who have trailed by as many as 9 on top of St. Francis, 62-60 with 3:46 to play in the game. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Spring forward with real unlimited data from Straight Talk this tax season and get a free Samsung Galaxy A16 5G or Moto G Power 5G 2024 with select plans. So you can stream games during Mad March hours, check the weather for April showers, and watch gardening videos about May flowers. Straight Talk, real unlimited data. Available at Walmart and straighttalk.com. Offer valid through 4/15/25. Taxes and fees apply. Requires purchase of single line gold unlimited plan or higher. For network management practices, visit straighttalk.com.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hoped it'd go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was gonna unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get.
Robinhood Gold members can now enjoy the VIP treatment, receiving a 3% IRA match on annual retirement contributions. With Robinhood Gold, the perks of the high net worth are now available for any net worth. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. To receive a 3% boost on annual IRA contributions, sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. 3% match requires Robinhood Gold $5 a month for 1 year from first match. Must keep funds in IRA for 5 years. Go to Robinhood.com/boost. Robinhood Financial LLC member SIPC. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold LLC.
It's time for basketball, and Uber Eats is dropping deals on game day favorites to keep you locked in on the action. Like when you're craving a buzzer beater, but also buffalo wings. Or when an upset makes you want to ugly cry into a pizza. And right now, Uber Eats has game day deals from Burger King, Buffalo Wild Wings, KFC, and hundreds more local favorites. So you can keep your eyes on the ball and your hands on a burger. Order now, only on Uber Eats. Product availability varies by region. See app for details.
Download the official NCAA March Madness Live app, and you can listen to every Westwood One broadcast of the men's and women's basketball tournament for free. Just look for the headphones icon on any live game, and if you're in the car, it seamlessly integrates with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Get the official NCAA March Madness Live app today. 3:46 to play in our second half in Dayton. Alabama State, for the first time in 30 minutes of game time, is on top, 62-60 over St. Francis. And there will be a couple of free throws coming up for the Hornets out of the timeout. Nate Gatter, King McClure back with you. This is when things start to get tense for both teams in the NCAA tournament. But even though it's not the tournament, it's the regular season, both of these teams have played a ton of close games, including in their conference tournaments.
Yeah, things get a little different in these moments right here. When that March Madness logo was in the middle of the court, and now all of a sudden Alabama State takes the lead. Either St. Francis is going to show quickly. Are they going to fold and the moment be too big, or are they going to rise to the occasion? But Nate, we talked to Rodney Terry earlier, and that's one of the things that he emphasized. Moments like this is what you really see, is when you really see what you're truly made of. Because the lights are bright and this game feels a lot more elevated, and I've been in situations like this. When it's a back-and-forth game down the stretch, you definitely get tight and you feel all those nerves. I don't care what hooper it is. You feel it.
Amar Knox misses both free throws. 78% foul shooter. That's exactly what we're talking about. A rare 0 for 2 for Knox. We're meeting with Rodney Terry, the Texas coach, today, because we'll hear from his Longhorns on these airwaves tomorrow night in the final game here in the first four against Xavier. First of 67 in the NCAA tournament, and it's been a dandy. St. Francis basketball down 2, inside 3.5 to go. Straight away, it's Kelly. Gets a screen from Pinedo, works around to the left side. 5 to shoot. Backs out to the wing, terminates the dribble. Handoff Moncrief with 2, with 1. He throws it up. It's blocked. The first block shot of the night for Alabama State. And it's a shot clock violation for St. Francis. 3:15 to go. Alabama State basketball with a 2-point lead.
And that's just a great defensive possession. They kept St. Francis around the perimeter, not allowing any driving lanes towards the hole. And when they finally did, Walker was right there for the backside help, the rim protection, to be able to get the block. Good defensive possession right there by Alabama State.
St. Francis 7-6 in games decided by 5 or fewer, but they've won their last 5, all on this 6-game winning streak. Alabama State is 11-4 in games played within 5. C.J. Hines drives right, puts his body into Pinedo, leans back, layup, no. Moncrief the rebound, and he runs out right to left for St. Francis. Skip past Parker, wanted the left wing three, but he fumbled the catch and had to pull it back in and settle things down. Riley Parker just 2 of his 12 points since halftime. The Australian works between the rings, crosses over to the right hand, throws it out to Cranford, the Dayton native. Straight on with 10 on the timer. He's working against Octave, whose defense has been great in the second half. Cranford drives left. Off the window, he floats it home. 2.5 to go. We're tied up at 62. Just our third tie of the game. And it comes with 2 and change remaining. Amar Knox with a basketball for Alabama State. Working toward the rim to our right against the man-to-man for St. Francis. He drives right to the paint, throws up a wild floater and it goes down. Amar Knox, a circus shot over Kelly, falling out of bounds on the baseline. Alabama State retakes the lead with 2 minutes to go. Parker, far side right. What does St. Francis have to answer? What a shot by Amar Knox. Left wing, it's Moncrief. He backs in, he lost the ball. Octave chases a rolling basketball. He runs it alone. He jams it with 2 hands. Alabama State leads by 4 for the first time since the opening 5 minutes. Matches the largest advantage tonight for the Hornets. The black and gold comes to its feet in Dayton. 1:36 to go. Alabama State 66. St. Francis 62. Timeout, red flash. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Selling your home, it's one of the biggest financial decisions you'll ever make. You could go it alone, trying to navigate market trends, determine fair pricing, and tackle tricky negotiations on your own. You could second-guess every decision, wondering if you're doing it right. Then there's the showings, the offers, and the mountain of paperwork. Or you could work with the expertise of a realtor, here to guide and help protect as you make your next big move. Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors. Right by you.
96 seconds to go in Dayton. Alabama State 66, St. Francis 62. The red flash have the basketball out of the timeout. Amar Knox gave Alabama State the lead moments ago on an incredible falling shot, heaved over his head with his right hand as he tumbled out of bounds.
The wild circus shot, just the absolute momentum changer. Shot like that in moments like this can do a lot for a team.
St. Francis basketball, working to the left side, right wing, Cranford three, he buries it from 27 feet. What a big shot by Juan Cranford Jr., his 5th three-pointer, and the Dayton native pulls St. Francis back within 1.
Oh, I love this, Nate. I love this. Cranford, a freshman, ready for the moment.
Is this March Madness or what? TJ Madlock puts his head down, drives right lane, he lays it up and in. Madlock tucked it under his arm like a running back down the lane. 68-65, Alabama State lead, 1 minute to go. Cranford on the dribble for St. Francis. Far side right wing against Hines. Gets a high screen from Pinedo. Throws it near side Moncrief. Left corner Kelly. Back out toward Parker. It's off his outstretched hand, but saved to the far sideline by Cranford. 45 seconds left. 8 on the timer. Cranford terminates out high. Gives it up to Moncrief with 5. He steps back. 3 for the tie. It's good! With 40.4 seconds to go, Chris Moncrief drills a step back 3. We're knotted at 68.
Oh, big time shot from a guy. See, this is what happens in March, Nate. This is exactly what happens. Guys that you don't expect knock down big shots. Moncrief not known as a three-point shooter, but if you give him the time and the opportunity, he can knock it down.
There's a timeout on the court taken by Tony Madlock and Alabama State. We have 31.6 seconds left, and we're tied up at 68. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Your business needed to hire someone yesterday. How can you find amazing candidates fast? Easy. Just use Indeed. With Indeed Sponsored Jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, with Indeed Sponsored Jobs, there are no monthly subscriptions, and you only pay for results. Start at Indeed.com/credit.
Tonight's broadcast of the 2025 NCAA Men's Basketball Tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. Nate Gatter, King McClure back with you courtside in Dayton. 31.6 seconds to go of the first of 67 games in the NCAA tournament, and it's tied at 68 after Chris Moncrief's step back three to knot the game up. Alabama State has the basketball out of the timeout. What execution we've seen from both teams. They both made their last 3 field goals.
And for Alabama State, you have a three-headed monster. When you look at Hines, you look at Knox, you look at Madlock. The basketball can go to either one of these 3 guys, and I wouldn't be mad if any of them take the shot. I mean, right now, Knox is really cooking, but we've seen Madlock be able to get to the rim as well. So the three-headed snake, one of those guys has to take this shot.
About an 11-second difference between game and shot clock, so Alabama State cannot hold for the final shot of the game. They're on their feet around UD Arena. Amar Knox on the dribble on the March Madness logo in midcourt. He has 9 to shoot. Working against Kelly. High screen from Walker. Drives right to the paint. Into Pinedo. His floater. No good off the window. Rolls off the rim. Rebound loose. Bouncing to the near side. Tracked down by Matlock. And he's undercut and fouled by a diving Jamar Kelly with 11.8 seconds to go. And St. Francis is over the limit. TJ Madlock, the senior, the coach's son, will shoot 1 in the bonus with a chance to give Alabama State the lead with 11.8 seconds to go on the 4th personal foul on Jamar Kelly.
These are the moments right here, Nate. These are the moments.
Timeout by 13th year head coach Rob Cribble at St. Francis. Maybe to talk things over with his guys, maybe more than anything, to let TJ Madlock think things over in the huddle. And they just showed his mom up in the stand. She's not just mom, she's coach's wife too, and she cannot watch.
Definitely to ice the shooter. I mean, we see it in football a lot. You see coaches call timeouts right before the kicker comes on. Same type of moment. Free throws to put them up. Call the timeout, try to ice the shooter. Nothing worse, Nate, knowing you're about to shoot 2 free throws to try to win the game, and you got to think about it longer. Nothing worse than that as a player. But these are the moments right here that you live for. These are the moments you work hard for all season to be able to knock it down. This is why coaches make you shoot free throws in between drills and practice, after practice, all year long for moments like this.
Alabama State 68, St. Francis 68. Both teams have 1 timeout remaining. The arrow favors the red flash. But TJ Madlock is shooting 1-1 with a tie game at 11.8 seconds left. Madlock has made his only free throw in this game. He is 71% on the year. His 126th collegiate start tonight. The coach's son, waiting on this moment his entire life. At the foul line to our right. 2 dribbles, the righty free throw. No good off the front rim. Rebounded by Pinedo for St. Francis. 10 seconds. Pinedo runs up the court. Over the front court. It's loose. It's knocked out. Here it comes. Cranford to the rim. It's knocked out of bounds to the baseline. And it's out to Alabama State. Cranford tried to drive. A hectic sequence. He lost it to the baseline with 2.7 seconds. And Alabama State is going to get another chance to win the game when St. Francis could have held for the final shot. Pinedo dribbled to half court. He was clearly uncomfortable. And the 6'8" Spaniard lost the dribble. The ball was loose on the midcourt logo. Picked up by Cranford, who drove right to the paint and lost the ball out of bounds in traffic on the baseline.
But that was a good job by Alabama State. The reason why Pinedo had to dribble the ball up the floor is because Alabama State immediately denied the wings. They immediately denied the guards so that they couldn't get a clean catch to be able to sprint to push the ball up ahead, which made Pinedo feel like he had to dribble it. You put him in an uncomfortable position. Now, all of a sudden, that's how they force the turnover. But with 2.8 seconds.
The shot clock has just been reset. They're going to put
3.4 seconds on the clock. I feel like now there's multiple 0 timeouts. You got to get something going downhill. Ideally, you would like a catch at the free throw line with the pitch back and have one of your guards go as fast as possible downhill. But you got to get something towards the rim, full speed, 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, maybe it's that famous Tyus Edney play. Something inbound to a big guy, handoff, and get a guy going with a full steam. 3.4 seconds left in regulation. St. Francis 68, Alabama State 68. We had an overtime game last year at the first four. We'll have another unless the Hornets can find something. They have to go 94 feet. Simpson will inbound under his own basket. Pinedo pressures the ball. He throws a baseball right-hand pass, arcing toward the far free throw line. It's loose under the basket. Laid up and in by Knox. 7/10 of a second to go. Amar Knox gives Alabama State the lead, 70-68. Simpson with his right hand received a 90-foot pass, the length of the floor. It was knocked off 2, 3, 4 hands. Knox grabbed it on the left block. He laid it up and in, and Alabama State, with 7/10 of a second to go, leads 70-68 over St. Francis. Welcome to March.
Wow. Throw up a baseball pass. Nobody gains control. It gets tipped around a few times and just ends up in Knox's hands, and he just puts it up easily. Wow. Like you said, this is March at its finest.
King, that felt like a Hail Mary pass in the end zone where it tips off defenders and somehow somebody catches it.
Reset to 1.0.
So they put 1 second on the clock, but St. Francis is now in the same situation. They're going to have to go 94 feet and create something. A three-pointer would win it. If they could run something similar, some kind of borderline alley-oop, they could tie the game and force overtime, but it looks dire for the Red Flash at the moment.
And there is nothing like this moment. There's nothing like March Madness, mate. Oh, my goodness.
Alabama State 70, St. Francis 68. 1 second to go in regulation. After the long bomb pass from Simpson, Knox caught the deflection and laid it in. Damar Kelly under the basket to his right. He needs to go 94 feet and score to at least tie the game. Madlock pressures the inbound. Kelly throws it into Moncrief. Three-quarter court heave for the win. No, it's short. And the Alabama State Hornets, the SWAC champions, have won their 7th straight game and are victorious in the NCAA tournament for the first time ever. With 1 second to go, the 90-foot heave pass. Micah Simpson, all the way the length of the floor, deflected to Knox. And Amar Knox, after just 6 points in the first half, hits the biggest layup of his life to win it for Alabama State. 70-68 over St. Francis. What a start to the 2025 NCAA tournament.
The second chance points by Alabama State and their ability to attack and put pressure on the defense of St. Francis won them the game. The three-headed snake, the guards all had to be great, and they did what they were supposed to do to get the win.
What a moment for Micah Simpson. What a moment for Amar Knox. What a moment for Alabama State. 0-4 in the NCAA tournament all time. For the first time ever, the Hornets have won a game in the Big Dance. A team that was 9-14 6 weeks ago. Since then, they've won 11 of 12 and 7 in a row, and this one in miraculous fashion. The Red Flash of St. Francis go over to applaud their fans in the corner on the near side down to our left. An excellent, resilient performance down the stretch for the Red Flash, emblematic of the season they've had. That will come up short of their first NCAA tournament win, but they can head back to Loretto, Pennsylvania with their heads held high.
100%, and the way that they got here, to go on the road, win your semifinals game on the road against LIU, win the conference championship against Central Connecticut on the road as well. Nobody expected them to be here in this moment, and they left everything they had on that floor, and they gave 100% effort, so they have nothing to hang their heads on.
What a start to the NCAA tournament. Is this not why we listen to March Madness?
100%, partner.
The first game of 67, hopefully the next 66 are just as good. We're joined by third-year head coach Tony Madlock of the Alabama State Hornets. Coach, just how you drew it up, the double deflection play to Amar Knox to lay it up and in for the win.
Crazy, man. Hey, but listen, we spent a lot of time on situational stuff. We spent a lot of time, probably too much, and it paid off for us today.
Coach, your son played with foul trouble, had 4 fouls, and you kept him in. You trusted him. What is that process like in your mind during that moment?
Well, he knows how to make the right plays. So I trust him with everything. So it was just a matter of don't do anything stupid.
Coach, you just won the first NCAA tournament game in Alabama State history. Sum up the emotions.
Ain't that something? Proud to be a Hornet, baby. Hornet Nation.
Congratulations, Coach. We appreciate it. We've got Amar Knox standing by as well. Amar Knox had 16 points to lead the Hornets, and he had the game-winning layup with a second to go. Amar, I was joking with Coach Madlock, saying that's exactly how you guys drew it up. He said in the huddle, Amar, we're going to tip it twice. You're going to catch it and lay it in. What was going through your mind? Forget when you made the layup. How about when the ball was coming down and getting tipped around?
For one, before the play even started, I had a feeling that we were going to overthrow it, they were going to tip the ball. And my thing was, I just wanted to find the ball. And then everybody tipping the ball found my hand, and I know I had no time to get it off. And when it went in, I was so happy.
You struggled in the conference tournament, right? You didn't play your best basketball, but now all of a sudden on the biggest stage of college basketball, you had a huge night. What was the mindset going into this game after your struggles in the conference tournament?
For one, my teammates, they was a big part of it. I was struggling a little bit, but they stayed in my ear, kept me motivated, and I knew I was going to come out of the ball. I felt it this morning. As soon as I woke up, I knew we were going to win. I was going to ball.
Amar, congratulations. The game-winning shot in the first NCAA tournament win in Alabama State history.
Thank you.
That's Amar Knox. His team-high 16 points paced the Hornets, and his layup sent Montgomery into ecstasy. 70-68, the final score from Dayton. Alabama State beat St. Francis. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Warner Ladder proudly salutes Naismith Award-winning college coaches and all they do to help their players climb the ladder in life. How about a guy who has won the Naismith Award at 3 different schools? John Calipari earned the prestigious coaching honor during his respective tenures at UMass, Memphis, and Kentucky. While Calipari is now wrapping up his first season with Arkansas, this year was his 33rd as a Division I head coach. Last spring, Calipari left Kentucky after 15 seasons. He led them to the Final Four on 4 separate occasions, breaking through in 2012 and finally delivering Calipari that coveted national championship. Calipari will always be remembered for getting his players ready for the next level of their basketball careers. 50 of his Kentucky players were selected in the NBA draft. Warner Ladder salutes 3-time Naismith College Coach of the Year John Calipari and college coaches everywhere. Warner Ladder, official sponsor of the Warner Ladder Naismith Coach of the Year Awards.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a
Hey Insiders, thanks for hanging out with us. Check out our new website, www.torontosportsinsider.com, and check out the link that is in the description as well as in the chat that shows where all of the live viewers are watching from. Go click that link, put yourself on that map, and find out where everyone else is watching from and see where other fans watched previous streams from as well. We'll see you back in the chat. Thanks for checking out our awesome new map feature on our website. Big shout out Level Up SEO. Good job on that one. We'll see you back in the chat. Good luck to your team.
You're in good hands with Allstate. Savings vary. Terms apply. Allstate Fire and Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Welcome to the Tournament Post-Game Show on Westwood One, sponsored by Allstate. Wish you could save on home insurance? With Allstate, you could easily save and get quality protection. Check Allstate first for a quote today. You're in good hands with Allstate.
Back in Dayton, what a thriller to open up the NCAA tournament. Alabama State 70, St. Francis 68. The Hornets move on to Lexington Thursday to face top-seeded Auburn. Nick Gatter, King McClure, our entire Westwood One crew with you. King, if the next 66 games are anywhere near what we just got in the first, we're in for a great NCAA tournament.
Man, credit to Alabama State. You know, the first half, they struggled to really get going. They struggled to settle in the game. But in that second half, they opposed their will on the offensive glass, and their offensive movement was way better. The fluidity, the purpose that they were moving with was extremely. There's a vast difference between the second half and the first half, and I think that's what allowed them to get the win.
0-4 all-time in the NCAA tournament, Alabama State, before this game, including a couple of losses here in Dayton to Morehead State and to UTSA in 2009 and 2011. But in their first trip to the tournament in 14 years, they get the first win ever for the Alabama State Hornets in the NCAA tournament. Time now to select the player of the game, sponsored by Lowe's. At Lowe's, members save more every day. Join for free today. Lowe's, they help, you save. All right, King, who's your Lowe's player of the game?
You already know. Mr. Buzzer Beater himself. Amar Knox has to be the player of the game. Struggled in the conference tournament, but as you just heard, his teammates gave him confidence. He felt that when he woke up that he was going to come out here and have a really great game, and that is what he did. He got to the rim. He didn't shoot it great, but he got to the rim, finished the shot, the acrobatic shot towards the end that went over the backboard and was somehow a bucket. I mean, that right there, I think, was the game changer, and he is the player of the game.
Honorable mention to TJ Madlock, who had 11 points and 7 rebounds for Alabama State. Nobody more relieved than him to get away with a win after he missed the front end of that 1-and-1 with 12 seconds to go. Nobody in Montgomery is going to remember that free throw anymore. St. Francis had a couple of great performances. Valentino Pinedo had 17. The Dayton kid, Juan Cranford Jr., had 18 points. He made 5 threes. He added a game-high 8 rebounds. But at the end, St. Francis came up just short. 70-68, the Alabama State win on a layup with a second to go by Amar Knox of the Hornets. Looking ahead, we're not far away from tipping off our second game tonight. North Carolina and San Diego State, a pair of 11 seeds. What are you most excited to see in this game?
The high-powered offense of North Carolina, top 25 in the country, against the top 25 defense in San Diego State. Who wins the game? Defense versus good offense. We're going to be in for a battle.
Contrasting styles, contrasting strengths in North Carolina and San Diego State. Right now, let's head back to Jason Horowitz in the Westwood One Broadcast Center.
All right, Nate King, thank you very much. We will get it back to you guys. North Carolina and San Diego State tip time, 9:21 Eastern. So about 23 minutes from now, we'll tip off those two 11 seeds with the right to move on to Friday in Milwaukee. But what an opener to this NCAA tournament. We'll relive it on the other side. You're listening to the men's basketball tournament on the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network.
Pro Savings Days are back at Lowe's with limited time savings on the supplies pros need. Get up to 40% off select major appliances. Plus, save an additional $100 on every $1,000 you spend on select major appliances. And don't miss your chance to activate and earn 3 times the points on select DeWalt and Klein tools. Lowe's, we help, you save. Valid through 3/28. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. See associate or Lowe's.com for more details on qualifying items.
Empower. Tim collects bobbleheads. A lot of bobbleheads. Baseball bobbleheads. Race car bobbleheads. Little Chihuahua bobbleheads. He's got an entire room strictly for bobbleheads. Does he need them? No. Is his wife mad about it? A little. But Tim works with Empower, and he got good at money. So he can be a little bad. Ooh, horse bobblehead. Classy, Tim. Empower. Invest well, live a little. Start today at empower.com.
The new KFC Dunk It Bucket with juicy original recipe tenders, new mashed potato poppers, crispy fries, plus 3 sauces that fit right on top of the lid, so you can dunk anywhere. You can dunk at the game. Dunk while security points to the no outside food sign. And dunk as 20,000 people watch you and your Dunk It Bucket get removed from the stadium. Dunk almost anywhere with the new $7 KFC Dunk It Bucket, or get the double Dunk It Bucket for $25. Prices and participation vary while supplies last. Taxes, tips, and fees extra.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a quality technician in a food processing center, she knows that making the right call is the best way to avoid a recall. That's why she trusts Grainger's world-class supply chain to deliver the high-quality supplies she needs to help keep her production line, her equipment, and her customers happy and healthy. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Jason Horowitz, Nick Bahe, back with you here in our Westwood One studios. Going to relive that brilliant opener. Alabama State 2-point winner over St. Francis in a sec. But first, we pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is the Westwood One NCAA Radio Network, your home for the national championships.
College Sports Radio is your home for the NCAA tournament.
For the win, it's good!
Hear reaction all day long on SiriusXM Channel 84 and the SiriusXM app.
Well, last year, the latest buzzer beater came with 1.7 seconds on the clock in the tournament. We have already beaten that, and it's only game one. Jason Horowitz, Nick Bahe, happy to have you back with us in our studios. 70-68, Alabama State over St. Francis. And Nick, we can only hope that this is the fortune teller giving us the rest of the tournament.
Let's hope so. That was an incredible game to get things started. Alabama State trailed for 30 minutes of that basketball game. And for them to stick with it, finally be able to get over that hump and then have the finish that they just had. That game right there encapsulates everything you love about March Madness. Now, everybody knows who Amar Knox is.
Right.
I don't know if anybody outside of Alabama State knew who Amar Knox was a couple of hours ago. It's the best.
They all do now. Well, you'll hear it in just a moment as to why. If you missed it, let's relive this basketball game. And St. Francis led in the first half by as many as 9. The Red Flash shot 59% in the first half, but had 9 turnovers that allowed Alabama State to stay in the ball game. It was a 5-point St. Francis lead at the break. They would trail by as many as 8 with Alabama State early in the second half, but they were kept coming. They kept coming. They got within 1, only to see St. Francis take a little bit of control.
Near side right, Fulcher attacks, right block, his pass toward O'Con, sails over his head and it's stolen. St. Francis right to left. Sanad goes up and he gets it to go in the layup through contact. Whistler said and makes the bucket 55-49. St. Francis right back up by 6.
Yeah, they were, but Alabama State hit a shot on the next trip down the court. And the next 6 minutes, they would be playing within a 1-possession game, trying to get over that hump, which they finally would and take the lead.
Between the rings, Hine. He gets a high screen from Walker, works around it to the left side. Step back, left wing three. It's good! For the first time in 30 minutes, Alabama State takes the lead. C.J. Hines delivers for the Hornets. Alabama State 62, St. Francis 60, with 4:10 to go in the first 4.
And they would hold that lead for 90 seconds. Juan Cranford Jr., who led St. Francis in scoring, would tie it. Alabama State would take the lead and then go up by 4. Couple of free throws, get back in it, and an opportunity for St. Francis late in the ballgame to tie.
45 seconds left. 8 on the timer. Cranford terminates out high. Gives it up to Moncrief with 5. He steps back. 3 for the tie. It's good! With 40.4 seconds to go, Chris Moncrief drills a step back 3. We're knotted at 68.
Big time shot from a guy. See, this is what happens in March, Nate. This is exactly what happens. Guys that you don't expect knock down big shots. Moncrief not known as a three-point shooter, but if you give him the time and the opportunity, he can knock it down.
Oh, no question, with a man right in his face. So what happened after that, pretty crazy. Alabama State got a pretty good look at the basket, missed a layup, long rebound, hustle play. St. Francis fouled on the rebound, took out a guy's legs. But the coach's son for Alabama State missed the front end of a 1-and-1. St. Francis got the rebound, but they turned it over in the front court, which gave Alabama State the ball and a chance for an incredible moment. And the Wrangler highlighted the game.
They have to go 94 feet. Simpson will inbound under his own basket. Pinedo pressures the ball. He throws a baseball right-hand pass. Arking toward the far free throw line. It's loose under the basket. Laid up and in by Knox. 7/10 of a second to go. Amar Knox gives Alabama State the lead. 70-68. Simpson with his right hand received a 90-foot pass, the length of the floor. It was knocked off 2, 3, 4 hands. Knox grabbed it on the left block. He laid it up and in. And Alabama State, with 0.7 of a second to go, leads 70-68 over St. Francis. Welcome to March.
Yeah, you thought the sea of hands by the Raiders was impressive. That was much better. That's the highlight of the game. Sponsored by Wrangler. Here's to the early risers, the go-getters. Show Wrangler.com for new denim styles to kickstart your day. Wrangler for the ride of life. The response with 1 second left. The heave never came close. Alabama State, its first ever win in dramatic fashion. And it's fitting, Nick, that a Hail Mary for a school from the state of Alabama to go play Auburn on Thursday.
Yeah, a couple of things. You bring up TJ Madlock's missed front end of the 1-1. You know what was huge, Jason, was Alabama State denied any outlet pass for St. Francis, forcing Pinedo, a big man, to have to dribble the ball up the court, which ultimately led in the turnover, which ultimately led to the opportunity for Alabama State to get the ball back and throw it deep, and you get the, what I guess you could call a basketball Hail Mary for Amar Knox. That's why you work on those special situations. And it was an amazing pass. Ultimately, in those situations, the pass has to kind of make the shot, if you will. Just give yourself a chance. Throw it deep, and Amar Knox, right place, right time. Just incredible. I just thought the denying of the outlet pass led to the turnover, which led to the opportunity for the game winner from Alabama State.
Yeah, really impressive, and one we'll remember. Hey, we're between games 1 and 2 of our doubleheader here on this first 4. Coming up shortly, we're going to give our local stations a chance for a message. Again, North Carolina and San Diego State tipping off at 9:21 Eastern. But first, we check the tournament summary, sponsored by Marriott Bonvoy. Take your game day rituals on the road with Marriott Bonvoy. Over 30 hotel brands for every kind of fan. Explore more at MarriottBonvoy.com/NCAA. There were 4 teams into this tournament playing in it for the first time ever, and a lot more looking for their first ever win. Alabama State just earned the first win in school history. It is the 5th time in the last 7 tournaments, though, that a team from the SWAC has gone to Dayton and won a game in the first 4. So they will go to Lexington, and they will try their best at the overall number 1 seed, the Auburn Tigers, coming up on Thursday afternoon. This has been the All-State Tournament postgame show on Westwood One.